the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner Aimlab. I'm Floki. Joining me for this one's going to be Universe. Universe, how you doing, my man? You've been watching all of these playoffs matches so far, and I have to say some of them have been looking very, very close. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think all these other teams are starting to finally catch up to the juggernauts like EXO and Enigma and Velocity, or is it just, a blind stroke of luck?
I wouldn't say it's a blind stroke of luck. I really think the True Rippers have come a long way since their time in the TEC Gauntlet Season 1, and the entirety of what we've seen them to be as a team. They've never really taken out any players. They've only stuck together, and today they are among the top tier teams. They have beaten Exploit, which, by the way, we all know is a team that has beaten Velocity before, a top tier team from Pakistan. And, you know, I really love that these guys have come up. Weird Esports, True Rippers, FSESPORTS this season as well. Even though they've been knocked out, it's really great to see all these teams come up. I don't think it's a stroke of luck. I think They're finally catching up. I think that Velocity, the likes of Velocity and Global Esports are still far off, but
Mhm.
EXO and Enigma, I think, are definitely touchables for True Rippers, FS, or even Valor, who already are there.
Yep, absolutely. They're certainly getting there slowly but surely. But let's jump into the MVP standings powered by Crucial and have a look at who has been on top. When since the playoffs have started, it's gonna be a bit of time before we jump into that. But real quick, make sure you scan that QR code and get yourself a Red Bull. And there you go. There are the MVP standings we were talking about. So Deathmaker in first place. No big surprises here. Just one of the most efficient players out there in the fragging department. 307 ACS. This man knows what he's doing. But Paradox, he's been creeping up, hasn't he? 338 kills, ACS of 284. Not that far off from Deathmaker, actually. And if he has a good time against the side of EXO today, maybe he could even pump those numbers up, overtake Deathmaker for the number of kills.
I mean, he probably will. I don't expect Paradox to not pick up, 4 kills in this game, more than 4 kills. He most certainly will. He probably might put a 0 in front of that 4 as well. Given his best day. But there's 2 players here who are going to probably overtake Deathmaker in terms of kills, but definitely not his standings. I think with him on the 307 ACS and 11 MVPs, he's far clearer. Put the bolts to the ground of his chair on the number 1 position. But Paradox and Psy, both of these players are going to be in action right now, and it's great to see them go off against each other. And I think that this is going to be a competition of the highest order. Previously, in the group stages, Psy was an absolute menace,
Mhm.
because he's the only person here who is not a Jet main, right? And
Yep.
we've said this multiple times. And with his kills, with his kill count as well, he deserves to be here. He's had a great season so far, and he could lead the side of EXO to another grand final, maybe a win, a victory this time. You never know. He has been on a great form. He is leading the team in a great way, and he's got everybody pumped up right next to him. So it's all eyes on side today. And if EXO do put up a performance, it's going to be thanks to him. I believe that he is the backbone of his team. And as I talk about this team, Floki, take it away.
Absolutely. Let's just jump straight into the introduction for the side of Team X. So see what their players are made of and put some faces to the names that we have been seeing all this while. But I have to, chime in and say I think it's particularly because Sai has been one of those first players to adapt to the KO, which, as we're seeing right now in the international meta, it's quite hot. Everyone's been picking that up for themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, as a result, Sai, he's just been operating a lot like a duelist as well in situations where his duelists are in there. When Excali is not on the table, it's usually him trying to make those plays. Occasionally, Ghost will also chime in. But yeah, this man has been lifting the mantle of the secondary duelist for his team, it seems, for some time. And he's been doing quite well under that mantle. Can he continue that streak against True Rippers, though? That's going to be a bit harder to answer considering the True Rippers have been doing well. But there you go, left to right, Wimp, Coast, Psy, Excali, and Blackhawk. Those are the people who are going to be manning those agents today. And I have to say, I'm very curious to see what sort of map we turn, what sort of agents we're going to be having up for the taking today. But we're going to be taking some time before we jump into that. Instead, let's have a look at the spotlight for the player spotlight for the side of Team X, so powered by Crucial, and see which one of these players have been fragging out of their minds. I imagine it's going to be Sai, but no, it is Excali on that jet.
Yeah, this is something that I actually wanted to point out that it's been a while since we've seen this change come in. Ghost was the staple jet of the team, but it's kind of shifted to Excali in the last couple of weeks, if not months. I think that Excali has taken over that duelist role. He feels more comfortable and confident, while Ghost has rescinded to what we know to be the secondary initiator. He plays the Sage. He runs around with just contemplating with the Psy, and he is the player that is right now doing that flexibility role along with Psy. I think that both of them have the capability of being a double, a secondary duelist. They have the ability to play initiators. They're pretty good on the Sage as well, and I think that allows Excali to freely roam around, find his groove, because his explosivity is something that gives him the edge over most of these other players. And with 353 kills, he's not on the MVP standings, but he definitely has more kills than most of them. You can see that right here. He's got 353. And that says a lot about this man. And maybe he is going to put up his name on that MVP standings at the end of this match as well. You never know, because if he hits that 400 mark today across 3 maps or 2 maps, whatever he feels the need to be, we will see him move up in the MVP standings. Maybe overtakes Strix, who is there in the third place.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, moving up in the MVP standings definitely something that players look to do. It gives them the spotlight. It shows their individual skill and makes them stand out from the team. But I imagine that EXO is a team that doesn't really need to do that. Their players are naturally able to gravitate towards that. They don't need to think about making those individual plays. It just falls into place for them.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's actually jump into the other side of the coin and have a look who they're going to be going up against. It's going to be the side of True Rippers. So let's have a look at their introduction and see what their players are made of. I believe it's going to be Crosshair Master, One Tap God, Paradox, as well as Relic. So yeah, this should be a very good. I mean, this is a very good roster. We've seen them play, like you've mentioned, for a long time, and they've stuck together, right? So the results are starting to pour in now. Is it enough to help them edge out the side of EXO, who, in all honesty, they haven't been looking as infallible as they once were? They definitely have been rattled a little bit by Weird today, and possibly True Rippers could do the same thing to them, if not outright beat them and send them packing to the lower bracket instead.
Yeah, I think that True Rippers definitely have a great chance at taking on the side of EXO. I think that EXO were given, like you said, a bit of a rattlement from the side of Weird, but I have to say that True Rippers need to continue riding on that wave and see what exactly Weird did yesterday and just do it better. They've got a great set of players. They've got a dynamic X factor in the name of Paradox. They've got 4 other players who support him and each other really well. Some great aimers, and a basic mechanical skill that allows them to be, what we know as textbook Valorant. They are pretty great on their own and as a team as well. True Rippers have been, force that has grown in the last 1 year more so than any other team, as I would like to believe. Unless you're a team like Enigma, which is a super team basically. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these guys have been a great set of individually talented young players who will honestly be in that tier 1 zone pretty soon, but they just need a little bit more time. And beating EXO today could be the first step towards that.
Absolutely. It's like the Power Rangers, when they've had all those 5 different Zords and they combine into one big Megazord. It's sort of like that for True Rippers, where they've been unable to really convert themselves into that Megazord and be a behemoth that, they always have had the capability of being. It's just about reaching to that point and finding that level of synchronicity with each other that is going to push them over the edge and hopefully allow them to stand up to the likes of EXO, Velocity, Enigma, all of these top tier teams who've just been who've had a very good who've had a very good hold on the majority of the gauntlet so far. But enough about them. Let's actually jump into the player spotlight for True Rippers powered by Crucial. See who's on that place. I imagine it's going to be Paradox, but no, it's actually One Tap God with an ACS of 211. Pretty good for a controller player.
Yeah, indeed, it is pretty good, and his stats are in the positive as well. 226 kills, 209 deaths, and this shows that not everybody individually from the side of Troopers is also doing pretty good. I think that they've all had great seasons so far. One Tap God, particularly, a player that the team loves to leave him alone at times. He most of the times I've seen this on Icebox, particularly when he does love playing that Viper, that they leave him alone on B and they trust him to do the job. And that's really great, because I think that having a teammate of that caliber where you can just leave him alone and he can do the job for your team is pretty good. I'm not quite sure if we're going to see Icebox today or not, but One Tap God is going to be one of the players that EXO need to keep an eye out for, apart from Paradox, I feel, because individually this man as a controller can take the game into his own hands, dictate the pace, and we have to make a point here to say that One Tap God, just as good as his controlling abilities are, his aim stands true to his name.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many times where, he's just peeked out One Tap people and justified that name, One Tap God. But it's very rare for controller players to see, controller players playing off of their own utility, right? Usually you see someone like the Duelist do that, or maybe someone like a KO or maybe a Sova do that. But not so
Yeah.
much for controllers. With some of the best controllers in the game, I've noticed, even at the highest level, they always try to play around their own utility, try to be useful to the team in by being more than just a bunch of smokes and a bunch
Like
of crowd walls.
Blackhawk.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like Blackhawk, that man, I don't think he even cares about the fact that he has smokes. He's like, you know what? I'm just a duelist. The smoking is extra. It's like if I'm not seeing anyone, if I'm not shooting someone in the head, sure, you're going to get a smoke. Otherwise, priority number one, I'm going to kill people. So, yeah, just having controllers who are a lot more active and like to play around their utility a bit more is
Hmm.
definitely something that has been pushing these teams a little bit over the edge here. And we'll see if that trend continues or if, they're going to continue to take a bit more laid back approach, be the anchor or be the guy who trades out the duelist, be the guy who holds onto that site, makes it a 3v3, makes it possible for a retake to come through. Because, yeah, I mean, it's usually the duelists being the difference makers, but given the meta is going, given the way the meta has been shaping up, I would imagine that the control is going to start being super effective as well in that fragging department. So let's see what maps are going to be played now, as we've talked a lot about both of these teams. We're quite curious to see what maps are going to be in picture here, because yesterday I do believe EXO ended up losing one map to the side of Weird Esports. I'm not quite sure which
Yeah,
one it was. It wasn't Ascent. I think Ascent was won by EXO, if I'm not wrong. But it might have been... No, it wasn't Haven. It wasn't
I
Bind either. It wasn't Split. It wasn't Fracture. It wasn't Breeze. What does that leave us with? Well,
um.
gee, I don't know. I think that's all the maps that I could have thought of. But never mind. You can go check the word from the YouTube channel earlier and have a look. Have a look at it yourself and just yeah, you're gonna know what the storyline and what the context is behind that. But EXO, yeah, they're gonna pick up Split. No big surprises here. True Rippers picking up Haven and Ascent being the decider. All right, fairly straightforward stuff. I imagine that True Rippers would try and pick something up like Breeze, considering that they did pick it up against Exploit. You mentioned that, so that's something that they did. But
Mhm.
hey, I mean, I guess EXO, they are aware that True Rippers like to run those maps. They probably banned it out.
Yeah, probably, but I think that split is something that I don't know why True Rippers would let that slide into this map pool because EXO are exquisite on split. Their ability to take map control is amazing on the back of that KO play from Psy. They have a great sense of, explosive control if the raise is being played by Ghost here, or if Excali wants to pick it up, whatever it is, or if we do see a single duelist even, it's still going to be pretty great. So
Yep.
Troopers really need to fight. If they are looking to win this one, they need to first pressure the side of EXO on split because that's going to be a really difficult one to get over. Because I've seen dominant victories 12-3, 12-2, 12-5 come out of EXO against, some pretty great teams. And Haven is a map where Troopers, that's the only place where they have to believe in because if Troopers have to win this, it has to go to a map 3. But if EXO have to win this, they can finish it off in a 2-0 if need be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, EXO can easily just, make this 2-0, but you never know, maybe given the way Split went yesterday, maybe they get off to a rough start. EXO and True Rippers actually give them quite a run for their money. I imagine that if True Rippers are to win Split, it probably has to be them starting off on a lead because it is a team that likes to start firing on all cylinders. Be the one who sets the tempo of the game, be the one who's in the driver's seat because they like to run their own strats instead of trying to counter what the opponent is doing. So yeah, if they get off to that strong start, we can certainly see them make Split a lot more competitive. But Haven is probably where they're gonna make a comeback if they end up not winning out on the map of Split, and probably the map where X are gonna have the toughest time because True Rippers have been playing that map since Donkey's years, and yeah, these guys they've pretty much perfected their Haven at this point. They're like, you know what? We always know there's one map we can fall back on. It's Haven, so we're gonna play that. And the map that has been here since the dawn of time itself, Ascent, the map that was added
Mhm.
along with the initial release of the game. Of course, we're seeing it being played a lot more now in the playoffs as compared to in the group stages earlier. In the group stages, we were seeing a fair bit of Fracture, a fair bit of Breeze, Icebox in there as well for good measure. But now it just seems that we're back to the classics, Split, Haven, Ascent, maybe a Bind in there somewhere eventually. I don't know. I remember Bind used to be the map that everyone used to hate to play because it was just so unconventional. Now it's Icebox and Breeze and, occasionally Fracture. So, yeah, it seems that times have changed, but at least in the playoffs, the meta, it still reminds me of the time when Valorant came out.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Minus the
Ascent,
agent.
I mean, Ascent is a map that we have to. Every time we look at it, the only thing we can think of is, oh my god, how many times are we going to see this? But hopefully we don't get to see it today. You never know if either team goes for that 2-0. True Rippers are not, incapable of getting that 2-0 victory in their hands, but
Mhm.
it looks a little bit too difficult given that Split is the first one. Let's go
Yep.
into the agent selection as everybody has been loaded in. And I am expecting, okay, XO straight, no messing around. Excali's picked up that raise against the Jet, and that is exactly what I would expect to come in. Ghost with that Sage, and we've got Wimp going to lock in that Killjoy as
Mhm.
EXO are, well, they look like they don't want to mess around anymore. They have no time to waste. They want to go straight into this map of Split, finish things up, chop chop, and go into Haven.
Yeah, they definitely know what they want to be running. You know, having picked up that KO, having picked up that Sage, they have an idea on how they want to play this map. Blackhawk picking up the Astra, though, that's not something I was expecting. He did play Omen yesterday on Split. Um, I guess that's the change that they're looking to make. They're like, you know what, Blackhawk, we probably need your utility a bit more. We don't really need someone to frag people out.
And
We've got Sai and Excali. Didn't
you know,
Blackhawk play Omen yesterday? Or am I
I
just
I
crazy?
actually yeah, he did play Omen,
Select
but
your
right now
agent.
I'm a little interested in what One Tap God is actually going to pick. He showed the breach. He's on the race. If there's a double duelist setup coming in over here, that
Mm-hmm.
is going to be an interesting one. Okay,
Could be, yeah.
I'm a little confused by this lineup. They are
Oh,
okay. No Sage. All right, we're
wow.
going in
No.
for that Sky. All right,
Mhm.
so no KO, but this is a total difference in lineup among two teams. We've got a
Yeah.
Sage, we've got a KO, and we've got the Killjoy on one end. On the other side, we have a
Yeah.
Killjoy, but we have a double duelist with a Jet as well, and we have a
Mhm.
Sky. So defensive properties on the side of TR looking a little less compatible, or a little less, I want to say, sturdy than what we can see on the side of EXO. I think EXO on their defense, are going to be a lot more difficult to deal with than on attack. On attack, the only thing that side of TR has to worry about is Excali and size knives. That's about it. But
Yeah.
on defense, they've got a Sage Wall. They've got the KO knife. They've got a grenade to worry about. Not to forget, the gravity pulls are a lot more stronger when on defense because you know where the opponents are coming into. So let's
Yep.
just move into the game and find out what exactly is happening, because
Yep.
the difference. What do you think, Floki? I want to know what are your thoughts about these two different lineups.
So definitely one of the things that stands out for me for the side of True Rippers is that mid is going to be somewhat vulnerable. You've got a raise, you've got a killjoy, so you can hold that A heaven and those B heaven areas, but you're still giving up a fair bit of real estate towards mid. What it does, it ends up cutting off, those quick rotations that defenders like to make, towards either side. So definitely going to be a little bit problematic on that front. So EXO could look to exploit that, constantly just do a site and mid split, whichever it is, whether it be, a mid to B split or a mid to A split, something like that. And just keep working them because they know the rotations are not going to come in. They can just essentially leave one person like Blackhawk or Wimp to watch the flank, to control that mid area and make sure that no one is able to rotate in from that part. And when you're funneling all the defenders from just one particular part of the map, it's just so much easier to hold because you can just throw down all your utility in one place. You can make sure that they're not really going to have all that room to work with when they're coming out, and they're going to have to take those awkward, scrappy, messy fights. And that is exactly the kind of situation that EXO wants them to be in. I mean, they want them to be in a spot where they have to go out there, make those unsavory peaks, and try and get down in the dirt and really get that round back in the bag. Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, without them having some solid real estate, retakes on split are incredibly difficult.
That is true. Split is a really dynamic map. You need to be in close corners apart from two places. Like, I love the verticality of the map, but when when you have space like A main and you're peeking from defender side spawn, that's a really long range fight. But with the rest of the map is, you've got these short range bursts where you can go by
Mhm.
this entire map just playing a judge, right?
Yeah,
Here.
You
pretty
can.
much.
You pretty much can, and we've seen that before. But yeah, how they move around these maps in terms of their utility is what I'm going to
Here.
be interested in, because True Rippers, they don't have that many clearing out kind of utility like the side of EXO do. And here we go. Let's see how they utilize it. Their utilities, though. Oh boy, okay. Nice Cali, he finds it. The kill on trade, thanks to his boombot, while he is gonna go down. And now already it's a 3v4. A lot of chaos has ensued. But EXO have somehow found the B-side all for themselves and a plan.
Absolutely.
Spike planted.
I mean, didn't seem like True Rippers were really aware about that mid push coming in so quickly. Just caught them by surprise and went setting the cherry on top there with that pick. And now a 3v5, or rather a 3-4 retake, sorry. Not gonna be that easy, but the dash is gonna come through. That's what's gonna start the fight, but it's not very successful. Paradox was good for one, but he gets straight out by Blackhawk. Just one person alive, and Master just does not have what it takes to pull this back. Good start for EXO. TR, the momentum they were looking for, not being built.
The only thing I was concerned about is that I saw one tap god standing out in the open towards that mid region, towards B heaven. He's just one man taking fight against 5.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I thought that there's gonna be some backup coming in from, you know, that rope room area, but it didn't really seem like that was on the table. Probably a lot of utility thrown that way, so, you know, one tap god, or sorry, Crosshair just got a little bit too eager. He was still good for one, but you probably want your Sky to survive a bit longer than that and get yourself some more room to work with. And now, well, this should be a fairly straightforward round for EXO. Just try and mitigate the economic damage, that is all. And it's gonna start off with Paradox being cleaned up.
Finds another towards mid yet again. One tap god falls. Blinded. A kill? Nope, not gonna happen. Ghost takes care of it. Bones is coming here to cover up towards B heaven, and he does get the trade. But he's okay. Bones, the right click unpredictability worked in his favor for 2 times.
Well, we spoke of economic damage. Bones has done some, so this round has been salvaged to an extent by True Rippers. You know, it's not as ideal as they would have liked, but it's still okay.
And Bones is constantly looking in one direction. He's not worried about his back at all. Now he picks up a Spectre and is going towards A main.
Yeah, and
this is going to cost him a couple of seconds. He might want to give some more economical damage, but maybe 1 kill. Not more than that. I don't expect him to get more. They can easily escape from the defender side spawn. This EXO players. They don't need to. They don't even need to fight him. Blackhawk is probably going to spot him out if he does choose to peek out, but I think Bones is just going to hold his ground.
Yep. I mean, this is what Bones is essentially looking for, right? Just to do some bit more economic damage. Just find one, and there you go. This is the perfect gravity ball coming out. Bones gets spotted. Blackhawk puts him 6 feet under, and that's the round done and dusted. Well, they don't lose much here, EXO. Their economy is gonna be mostly alright. They're gonna have to pick up 2 extra rifles courtesy of that last round. Could potentially go in for some sort of half buy as well. You know, pick up a Sheriff here and there, maybe a Frenzy, and just try and save for the next buy. Make sure you have enough money for 2 buys in a row after this instead of trying to go all in on this round. So we'll see if they go for that approach. But True Rippers, this is gonna be the first even fight they get to take since the pistol. Let's see if they can put up a good one.
Well, let's find out.
That top gets destroyed fairly quickly, and guess what? Wimp is actually going to get found early on, so True Rippers, they look for that aggression early on, and they find that kill. Now, it's all about backing up to safety and making sure they don't give the side of EXO too much free real estate. Just keep them away from those crucial areas of the map. And Sai even gets spotted, so this is just the icing on the cake here for True Rippers, but they still manage to smoke off Be Heaven, and now they're gonna try to make their way towards Rope Room side, clearing that area out with the fragment and the Vandal. And it's all just a bunch of smoke and mirrors until that drop gets made. Paradox might not have heard that though, it's still a bit too far, and now they're gonna make their way back towards B, but oh no, I guess this has worked. One tap god has been forced off that B side, and now they could potentially find Crosshair over here, who is in a good position. And I think he heard that reload, so he has an idea that this is coming. And soon after the rotations start to come in, that boom bot probably prompting it. Did the knife point find this guy? Yes, it did. So there's no flashes coming into this one. The wall being dropped in as well. Crosshair just rendered ineffective. It's all down to the players on the site.
Well, they've taken control of it. On side, there's one that they haven't checked yet, and that's Bones. And he's going to be troubling only one player. And ENIGMA are still stable. 3 versus 3. Plant goes down. Retake coming in. And Blackhawk is just pounding head after head. This is difficult. True Rippers. Finally, Paradox has something to say. And Master's right beside him. But can this duo face off against Ghost and Excali? Oh boy, Excali loses his positioning. Ghost above him in the heavens is not going to concentrate on Master. Thought Paradox is going to peek out and that's going to be the first fight he takes, but no. True Rippers get the successful retake. 3 versus 2, and they get their #1 on the board.
Alright, looks like you have a game on our hands, Universe. First buy round successful for True Rippers. Yeah, we most certainly do. But let me specify a bit more. We have a competitive game at our hands over here. True Rippers just not gonna roll over and die, right? So getting that first buy round win, absolutely massive. ENIGMA gonna reinvest, pick up those Vandals again, cash in on the advantage that they built on those first 2 ones. And if they don't make this round pay off, then they're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. But 5 people grouped up outside A, well, you know what's gonna happen.
You want to fight it?
We do. Here's the Cosmic Divide. There's the utility from Blackhawk. And Bones is trying to respond. Paradox comes out of the Cosmic Divide. Not going to be able to do anything. And look at Excali jumping in. Master was on site. But Master was trying to hide off for as long as possible. Not for too long, though. As Wimp gets the plan. And Excali's going to throw in that boom pod, which is actually going to dodge. One Tap got jumped over it. But his teammate Bones had to suffer for that. And ENIGMA have just taken over the A side like it's their own home.
I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't know you could jump over that boom bot through the Cosmic Divide there. That was something funny to watch. And something new to learn, but Bones, is he gonna learn something new about this thing? Nope. Not really.
You thought he killed Blackhawk, but he turned away. Unfortunately for him, Blackhawk was very much alive with 72 HP. And that's #3 on the board. ENIGMA are looking a lot more comfortable. The only round that True Rippers have won so far is the one where ENIGMA were playing on bonus. And now, they're on an eco. So, True Rippers, this first half, it depends on your next buy round. Because if you don't win that, then it's going to run away to the side of ENIGMA. And on defense, they are a lot more powerful.
Yep. They most certainly are. And now, it's down to Excali and couldn't make this play happen. Paradox, very confident about that fight, despite the reality works, but yeah, it's actually Bones who capitalizes there. Good stuff, they find one frag, but that rifle can't be recounted elsewhere. Wimp and Blackhawk do their work, find those picks on A. Byte's gonna be planted. Sai is just trying to mitigate damage over here, and well, in a 1v1, can he pull it off? Yes, he can. Doesn't even need his teammates to back him up. He's just 1 point away from that ultimate. This could actually be big, because if they manage to get him that ultimate point, they could essentially just enter A scot-free. You've got the Astro to cover up with those smokes. If you really want, the Sage could wall off that entrance towards B or A. Either one of those places works, and just get him that ult point and get them some, get them free control of a side if need be.
Yeah. As many ultimate points as he can gain. Good for him. Wimp needs 1 right now. You know, we've got 2 agents who can pretty much clear up sites, basically. Sai cannot clear up a site, but most certainly can send these players back. Oh, Sai? No. What? How? No. There is no way he escaped that. How the hell did that happen? Paradox, you are not supposed to miss shots like that.
You should run.
I don't know what just happened there. Sai missed the jiggle, he flashed himself, he ran across and he ran back, and Paradox still didn't get the kill. The Symphony of fails in less than 2 seconds, but this, well, this is not very hard to screw up. So, well, there you go, there's the entrance coming through. Wimp, good for 1, but one tap will find turn from the paint shells, and Cross chimes in with the kill on Excali. That box, very, very spammable, but Ghost gets activated towards mid, finds one, control back, but Paradox, so aggressive. And Sai knew. Just shoots him straight in the head, and now they have a chance. With the rest, they could potentially go back towards the A site. They've got one attacker who died towards a main who can be brought
30
back to
seconds
life,
left.
and
That's exactly what they're
think-
going for.
You will
yeah, I think
not
that's gonna
kill
be
my
Lakhs.
ally.
There you go. That's the best constellation they could have rest over here. They've got smoke, they've got gravity wells. The null command can buy them all the space and time in the world as well.
Indeed, and with no utility being able to be dropped down by Bones,
player
he's gonna go
standing.
down to
10
Ghost
seconds
towards ramp side,
Spike planted.
and Master, he's left all alone in a 1v3, and Ghost is looming on his position. Oh, spots a shoulder, but not able to convert. Master, 1 versus 2, got the ultimate to work with. Do you want to pop it? He's got one player towards A main and one on site, and he has no idea. He hears one, die, playing with his food. No need to do that because Blackhawk is covering him up, and that's gonna be number 5 for XO. 3 ultimates committed, by the way, Floki, in this round by XO. They put down the Killjoy ultimate towards B. They got the Sage revive, and in the end, it was Sai who, put down his ultimate as well. So I would say it's a little bit of a heavy investment because compared to what they've got, True Rippers have got 4 ultimates which they can use for the next round to almost guarantee a round for themselves. And one of them is a Killjoy ultimate, so...
Here.
Look at what they've got in return though, right? It's the economy. The economy is going really, really well for XO, and that's all that matters. Those ultimates, they can take it for 1 round and then they're going to be gone, so the economy is definitely a bit more important. And this round for True Ripper is going to be a bit of a throwaway, so just looking to do some damage over here. Well, speaking of damage, they do a little bit. In fact, they dropped Sai low to 6 points of life, but he survived with the skin of his teeth. And Excali is there to find Master through the smoke, and Ghost holding rope and making sure nothing cheesy happens over there.
Oh no, Ghost actually healed Wimp instead of Sai there.
I think that might have been deliberate. Sai...
No, Sai's on 6. Oh, maybe he wants to jump down. Oh my, okay, Paradox. He goes straight down. No!
Okay, Paradox. Yep, this is what I was talking about. You know, sometimes this guy just whips out the classic, just gets 2 kills. Nobody's business planned it all along. I knew it. This is exactly what I was gonna do. You guys thought I wasn't? Too bad. Well, XO, they at least get a plant down. Economic damage was done from the side of True Rippers, and guess what? This is deja vu for Bones once again.
Yeah, 1v3, and he has a weapon to work with. 2 stars. And armor as well, so it's good. And an ultimate if need be. Oh, Excali. Oh no. He's been spotted out and he's been taken out. Wimp knows where he is. Blackhawk as well. And there it is. The killing blow! Bones!
Wow, True Rippers. This is just the round they needed. And Eco win, and it all starts off with Paradox Classic. Great stuff from True Rippers.
Hey people,
Just
come
making
on
sure
now.
that the
I'm
economy,
anticipating
EXO
the
worked so hard
congratulations.
together.
I tell you what. I tell you
what. Please tell me, because I don't know what the hell happened.
I tell you what. If Wimp had not been healed and it was actually Sai who was healed, I think he would have survived and taken out Paradox right there.
Yeah, it definitely could have been. I 100% agree with you. I mean, that's they could have also not held 3 separate 1v1 angles and potentially just double peak Bones, but yeah, let's just not talk about that for the time. Yeah,
Yep.
that's for sure. EXO getting sloppy, just them not doing the due diligence, getting punished now. Well, when all else fails, rush B, use alternates, go into sight. That's the plan for EXO. It's working for them so far. They've got a couple of rounds on the back of it. Bones sometimes it fades away, but goes back in. Oh no, they might not see this. He's gonna be holding his Excali. Oh, Bones there. The Cosmic Divide not gonna protect him.
Spike planted.
And even the damage was done, the conversion wasn't there. Now gonna be down to 1 tap god. It's gonna be double peak. Crosshair's good for 1, but gets shot in Paradox. He really just wants to take this operator into the next round. Master, I don't think he got the memo there. He just jumped down from ropes and gave away his life. And Paradox, I'm not too sure what the rationale was there from the side of Master. That was a little unfortunate.
I think that he should have waited. I think he should have waited for Paradox to make a move. And then once they were concentrating on him, he could have jumped down and maybe found 1 player at least, looking in the wrong direction, and then shoot him. But well, what's happened, and we've got the side of True Rippers yet again on a semi-buy, except for Bones, who has a Vandal to work with. They have a Judge as well. So it's just been a constant series of trying to understand how to restabilize your economy. And when you do, immediately throw it away again. I mean...
Yeah. That's that's exactly what this game has been like. I mean... Well,
oh, it's got
okay, that's
amazing movement.
Yeah, and that satchel and that knife point all the will go along the ground.
enemy
Goes
remaining.
towards mid, just
Wow.
shutting them down. Okay. Two Rippers not gonna find any openings.
Amazing.
Well, the economy, it was built, it was lost, and it was recovered again. 7-2 in favor of EXO. Looking to continue throwing those left and right hooks. True Rippers, they struggle to get back on their feet. And it's not been easy for them, you know. They've had these ultimates, but I haven't seen them pop it even once.
Yeah,
Last round
yeah.
probably would have been the round where we should have seen at least the Seekers come out, or maybe, you know, a Killjoy.
I mean,
ultimate.
it was an eco, so...
Something. I mean, the last round, I mean, the round before the eco.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought they'd be using something there, but nope, absolutely not or nothing. And now, they're gonna try to play aggressive towards mid. They don't need to anymore. Onyx carrying Dirk Saigon for one. One is all he's good for, though. And man advantage retained here from the side of True Rippers. Master even finding Ghost this round. This is about as good as it gets here for the side of True Rippers. Sure, they lose a couple players. They lose Crosshair and they lose Paradox, but that's okay. This round was won. 3 rifles are going to move on into the next one. And that's sort of the economic momentum they need if they're to make a comeback and make it to 7-5.
7-5 is a little bit of a, you know, probably the best scenario here for True Rippers, but are they going to get there is the question. This time, instead of mid, Paradox wants to push up towards A, it seems like. He's got support. Utility is going to be dropped, I think, over there as well, and they might just... And EXO are actually expecting this. EXO expect this. They know that there's players there and they're pushing in. Paradox, he wants to fight this, but that smoke might... Oh, wait, it's taken away. It's not saying there. Oh, boy. Could be amazing, or this could prove to be really bad. And EXO, they will find this push, but on the other side of the map, they've lost 2 players of their own. And now, the entire map's gone in a state of limbo. The spike still in the hands of EXO, but the defense has been spread across two sites where it's really thin to know where exactly they want to land up. Ixiali's still holding towards A, expecting that somebody's going to push up here, while his teammates are stuck dead to rights towards mid. They don't even want to move an inch. Now they go for the spike.
I got the spike.
And this is definitely being heard by
Bot coming back.
Crosshair,
Time to hunt.
who is now scouting out towards A main. Ixiali might just be spotted here. Oh, yes, he will. He's going to be spotted out. And that should call in for a little bit of a stronger A hold, because EXO, they are
30
coming towards
seconds
A.
left.
Straight up going in for this one tap god. He finds that.
10 seconds
And
left.
Crosshair with that kill as well, but it's gone towards a Killjoy battle here. And that ultimate from
Spike planted.
Wimp, and that turret detecting the position of Master could just be the moment what he's been waiting for, and Master gets outplayed. What a play by Wimp. He knew he's gonna he's gonna be going back. And as soon as he committed that ultimate, there was nothing Master could do. He had to run away to a safe position. Unfortunately for him, he did not know that he's being slowly chased by an assassin.
Yeah, I mean,
Who's...
I'm sorry. I just realized I've been muted the entire time because I had a sneeze and I was like, well, I don't want that going on stream. But yeah, I mean, True Rippers was a really good position towards A Heaven earlier in the round, but then they gave it up and tried to play Sight instead of holding that, even though they had no information whatsoever. And they got punished pretty hard for that. I mean, EXO, not the kind of team to slack off in these situations. If you hand them over an advantage, they will take it and say, thank you very much. Please, do that again. That's what Sai essentially told Paradox, and Paradox heard him loud and clear as Supplying the dust towards mid. I believe the null command did get popped from Sai. Or did it?
I don't think so. No, I
thought
don't
heard
think so.
something. Has it? Well, one tap god. He actually sees the
Spike
spike. That
down
is
mid.
Now it is.
Yeah. Now the null command has been activated, and there you go. Can be a
Master.
weapon now. Master. Does he know? Yes, he does. His brain just about as big as Win.
One
Spots
enemy
one out,
remaining.
but yeah, when he's been vulnerable, those pain shots can hurt a lot. And now Crosshair is trying to live. Oh, does not connect the spray. Gets double beat.
want
and
to
there
find
you
it?
go. Exo, he'll even get the plant down for
Switching
the Crosshair.
sides.
True Ripper is just not able to hold on to the site for some reason. Just end up giving it up, and that's probably because of what happened back at mid, losing Paradox and the other couple players as well. It just seems that EXO have been very, very adamant about taking some of these fights, and they have been saying that no, we are better. We will take these fights against you, and we will contest you for this piece of ground. And True Rippers really haven't been able to respond up until a point. They've sure they've got some rounds they weren't supposed to with, that one eco round that they did win, and then eventually threw it right back in the hands of EXO. But yeah, now it's their turn to try and set the pace here. Blackhawk is going to be the first point of contact. That gravity well going to slow them down just a little bit by him trying to get into a better position and get that smoke going.
Oh.
That is big. Paradox actually gets
Oh
into
no, Paradox!
Just a bit too exposed over there, and from that position gets cleaned up. Now True Rippers with one man down, they can't continue to make this replay. Or can they?
Yeah. No, I don't think they have any sort of information except for Blackhawk being on site. Because Sai is towards heaven, Ghost is towards heaven. It's been walled off as well, so they've basically got a heavy B defense of 3 players here, and that's exactly why you can see the spike being rotated. As Master, he's clearing every single corner. He knows these EXO players cannot be trusted,
Recalling my boss.
especially with the fact that Excali has still not been spotted. He's got a grenade in his hands. And Wimp is here with his utility. This is going to be difficult. True Rippers, they need to find Wimp if they want to make a difference. That turret spots out, and Wimp is just too good. Drops the spike. He even holds them off from going into the side. Wimp with another. He's taking all the matters into his own hands. Master will delete him. Crosshair will find another, but the time has gone far too much for the side of True Rippers to have any sort of flow plays. 12 seconds, spike out of his hands, and even the round out of his hands. Excali finishes him off. That's going to be EXO with number 10. A little too close for comfort, but the defenders know what they're doing.
Yeah, True Rippers, they just haven't been able to find the momentum at all this game. Just since the start, just struggling, and now, well, 10-3, not the most inspiring of score lines. This is what they used to call back in the day corporal punishment. It's just a good old spanking to the butt. And True Rippers.
How I've missed this.
Yeah.
How I have missed, Floki telling a good spanking. I don't remember the last time I've heard you say that.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's spanking's a spanking, and Sai, well, he's continuing to deliver that brutal punishment as they get a ton of mid control, just seal off B to mid, and there you go. Now they're in sewers. Sure, this is a weird angle of attack coming in from True Rippers, but at best they're gonna get the spike down. I don't imagine this is a round where they can hold on to that A site. And look at that. I mean, now, where do we go from here? Goes good for one.
Nope.
Okay, does get treated out by Bones, but Excali is there to make sure that it doesn't go unchecked.
Last player
God, though,
standing.
has snuck the spike in towards B, and that was the last piece of information that he needed. At least they get the plant down. That's all they were looking for. Blackhawk, he tried to prevent that plant, but couldn't.
Well, one tap god, 11 HP, and a dream that is about to be crumbled down to nothing. But he did more than enough to get that plant, and that's going to mean extra bucks in their pocket in the next round. So that's one good thing, but the problem here is that you can have as much money as you want. EXO are just one run away from match point. And if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will, because no matter how much weaponry that you invest in, Unless you find that round win, it's not gonna matter.
Yep, most certainly. I mean, it seems that every single, every single one of these rounds, the True Rippers, they've just been really struggling to get anything going. They're trying to be aggressive, but it's aggression that lacks a plan. It's aggression that lacks a rhyme or
Without
reason
a
to
star,
it.
I
And
cannot.
every single time they just get punished. It's just
Blocking vision.
very ill-disciplined peaks coming out from them that's really costing them these rounds here. And maybe on attack it can be a little bit different, but it's still going to be a tall order. That Boombot basically gets them no information. All they figure out is that Cubby is safe. There's no one there, but they still don't know where Wimp is. They don't know the turret is. He sees it now and he takes it down.
Oh,
And-
look at go! What? Where did Scally come from?
From Bisuas. And that's why you spread out your attackers and get some map
Oh
control. But
no, this is just not good. Master and Crosshair have been left to wonder what the hell just happened. How was A not covered? How did they let Scally push in with Ghost like that?
Time to hunt.
That is not supposed to happen.
Destroyed.
Well, and you know what? Ghost is forcing even more arrows out of them. He places the wall down, forces the two
enemy
show themselves
remaining.
essentially.
Spike down
And
mid.
then Wimp cleans up. I mean, sure, Ghost sacrificial lamb there, but just the fact that he threw the wall out there,
Recalling
and
my
True
bot.
was decided
Match
to blow it
point.
up, just forcing out more and more arrows from them. So this is just going from bad to worse to absolutely horrendous for the side of True Rippers here. And the final round, potentially the final round, is gonna have to be them playing with stingers and frenzies and not the best weapons in the world. Well, they are gonna have Vandals and Phantoms, but it's gonna come at the cost of utility because look at that, they've all got light shields, they've got a Bulldog on Paradox, and they've got a Spectre on one tap god. The utility is not gonna be all that great. They're gonna try and play a little bit aggressively, but Blackhawk does not get tired. He's managed to sneak inside his own smoke. The Costa only get just spot him out. Okay, that's
got your
this
trail.
is looking like a fresh lease of life. For
Oh
life.
my
And
god,
Rippers,
okay.
But Ghost, good for one. Manages to slow the push down, and that's all that was needed. Now True Rippers try and make their way towards A, where Wimp, he heard that coming through, and Paradox might actually try to back his way towards B instead. But guess what? This is just a bait and switch. Excali easily is gonna find this kill.
Oh man.
A false sense of security. Elsewhere the trap is sprung. Bones finds Wimp, and there you go. This is what they were looking for. 3v3 now. And Excali
player
doesn't know about this
standing.
rotate that's coming, so quick Bones gets another. And now it's Sai in a 1v3 in a round that started off great for the
Spike
side of
planted.
EXO.
Oh, this got a little too coin flipped for the side of EXO to handle it. I think that first push from Blackhawk was a little unnecessary given that he went towards B main all alone. He could have just held his ground like he did all these rounds. It's always something about the comfort of that 12th round that you think you want to explore, that you want to do something more, and you eventually somehow end up giving a couple more rounds.
Yep.
And you know the one thing that I do want to point out? It's been an entire map, okay? We are on 12-4. It's going to be 12-4 in just a couple of seconds. True Rippers have not taken a single pause to try and reiterate what they should be doing.
Yep, not a single timeout. They haven't taken any time to discuss what needs to be changed. Is this just something that, they've accepted already coming into this BO3 that, you know what, guys, a split
That
isn't the best of
shouldn't
the
be the
world?
case.
I mean, it shouldn't be the case ideally in a BO3, but maybe, True Rippers seems like the kind of team who would do something as crazy as that, I mean, not
Maybe.
gonna lie, but if they are doing something like that, then that's pretty Giga Brain, not gonna lie. Although it does have its
overthink it.
consequences,
That's
I
my
mean,
job.
Haven could easily go the way of Vex.
I mean, giving away an entire map. I don't know if that's Giga Brain or Terra Brain at that point, but if they don't show their skills on the map of Haven, then it's pretty much no brain at all. And here's EXO trying to tell them we do not want to prolong this anymore. Blackhawk finds the first, and Excali's waiting for his kill. He's on 19, by the way. and he's on top of the board. Everybody from EXO is having a field day today. And look at that! Oh, side, perfect. That smoke was perfectly placed. That gives him a free kill, and that's gonna make True Rippers think about what the hell just happened. As Paradox, his team is looking up to him to find an opening, but he's got a Excali waiting on the other end of that Wentz. And as soon as he sees him, there's gonna be paint shells being thrown down. But wait, no, he scrolled up. Excali! He's not gonna be able to see him because of his own weapon!
Oh, wow, that's
30 seconds
so
left.
unfortunate. But, well, Paradox is just gonna hand that advantage
back.
right back into the hands of EXO. But Both is like, no, that's just Paradox. Me, I'm the real deal here. I'm the guy who's gonna make sure that that advantage is capitalized on.
One enemy remains.
Oh.
One but side, spots him out, cleans him up, and there you go.
Bones.
The nails being hammered in. Everything in the kitchen. Well, good for one, but that's all he's good for. Do they pick up all side back? Yep, GG is called, that's it. Map going the way of EXO. No big surprises. EXO winning out
Defenders
split.
win.
Yeah, this is just as we thought. True Rippers, they could have definitely made it a bit more competitive. It didn't seem like, like you mentioned earlier, that they took any timeouts at all. They weren't really aware of, what EXO were doing and how they were changing things up every now and then. It just seemed that there was a very obvious lack of structure in their play. It didn't seem like they really had a plan on how to approach this. Because once the initial few layers of defense broke, just all hell broke loose. Like, they don't know what to do. They were all just relying on individual plays to make it happen. And yeah, after a point, individual plays, they'll only get you so far. They're only gonna get you 4 rounds. You want something more than that. You gotta work on your strategy and your rotates and your calls and whatnot. Well, let's have a look at the highlights and see how EXO did it, because clearly this was a clinic coming in from them, just not giving the side of True Rippers the openings that they wanted, and making sure that they punished True Rippers. They really punished True Rippers for every mistake they made, right? I mean, there were so many times where True Rippers just got a bit too eager to take a couple of fights, and EXO just said, yes, thank you very much. We will take those and we will punish you for it. And I understand where True Rippers are coming from, right? It's one thing to play conservative, and it's another thing to be, just completely hands off the table, take all the map control you want in the world, and be that kind of a team. Just be someone that is always just retaking. You have to take those fights sometimes, but you gotta be intelligent about it. It can't just be all brawn and no brain. And this particular fight as well, it was really this round where I felt that EXO, they could just as easily lose this match, or rather this map, if they start slacking off, because yeah, there's no way on earth this should ever happen, right? Look at the number of 1v1s Bones gets here. I mean, he figures out where Excali is. Wimp is like, okay, he had a turret available. He doesn't drop it down instead, and they all take 1v1s one after the other. Sure, you could potentially argue that Blackhawk and Wimp should have set up a better crossfire, but yeah, EXO just not doing all those things, it just makes me feel like True Rippers, they had a chance this game, and they probably blew it.
Yeah, I really think that, from the beginning itself, True Rippers, when they allowed EXO to go up to a scoreline like this, 7-2, this is a time where you throw in that timeout. You'd have to get the tactical timeout to try and deter the momentum of your opponent, because look at it, this small timings like this outplays which come in, which just, it kind of throws down your morale, because you would expect what you're doing is right, but your opponent is already onto another move that you have no clue about. And to stop that from happening, you need to find a little bit of a time place for yourselves to try and think about what you can do differently. Everything that you did was shut down. Everything that they did was successful. And whatever and everything that, every time you move left and right, it's like they're not checking what they're doing. They just want to go straight head in. Okay, we see the site, we're moving into the site.
Yep. I mean, it was really that simple. And I think for EXO as well, in particular, I don't think there were any rounds where they felt like, they couldn't take a side, or where they felt like they couldn't go any place, because True Rippers just never really posted up that strong defense that we were looking for. It was always just them, occasionally winning a couple of rounds here, maybe getting some control of the map, and then giving it right back over to EXO. It didn't seem like they could hold on. And that's really sad, because EXO, I mean, there were times in this match where I felt like they could have lost. There were times in this match where the True Rippers could have easily made a comeback, but I don't know, man. It's just True Rippers. They didn't seem very motivated to take this map, to the distance, and instead just let EXO have free reign and let them do whatever they want. Even that last, I believe this last, the second last round where Sai was tucked into that corner towards B main. The Wolf spotted him out, but even then, Master, he tried going for the orb. He turned his head in the wrong direction. Just didn't anticipate that position to be covered, and yeah, I mean, Sai just peeked out and completely destroyed him. It just seems like True Rippers, their heads were really not in the game today, maybe except for Bones and perhaps Paradox, but
At
everyone else.
times.
Yeah, at times, exactly. At times, right? I mean, for the most part of the game, it also felt like they too were sleeping along with the rest of True Rippers. But yeah, you just can't afford to do these kind of things against XO, man. I mean, sure, if you win Haven and you're confident enough that you're gonna win it out or win it out on Ascent, fine. I'll accept that. That you guys had a plan and this was what you wanted to do all along. But I don't think they should be so easily just giving up so much real estate.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think that True Ripper is kind of, today it definitely hasn't been their day. It doesn't look like they woke up on the right side of the bed today. Every one of their players has struggled, and even if we do look at the scoreboard, we can end up seeing, that Bones is on top for sure. But look at the rest; nobody's even touched 10 kills, and Paradox, a person that you would expect to be among the same lines as the opponent's MVP, is just nowhere near. He's 10 kills behind Excali, and he's 3 kills behind Sai, who is at the bottom of their own team table. And you can see it, the team effort that the side of XO have put up is amazing. 19, 18, 13, 14, 12. They're in symphony. They know what instrument each of their teammates are playing, and they're just going with the tunes of what they know to be, their gameplay. Whereas True Rippers, well, it sounded like everybody had their own instruments, but it kind of sounded like they were playing their entire tune upside down, and it did not make sense to anybody.
It's like a garage band versus a professional band, right? It's a band that plays every other night at every single bar there is in town, and they've got great concerts coming up, versus a bunch of guys who's just taking up a couple of instruments and starting to learn how it all works and trying to put something together. And it's not even like EXO did anything outlandish, right? I didn't see any round where I was like, oh, that is really creative, or that's extremely gigabrain. Sure, there's going to be individual plays and those individual moments, but it was still textbook stuff. Wimp, going on the aggressor after planting the spike, knowing that he had the lockdown, something that I assume Master should have maybe anticipated, considering he plays that Killjoy so much. And yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary coming in from EXO. Just good old textbook Valorant, and True Rippers just get caught off guard by it. I mean, I don't want to be the one to say it, but they have to be better than this. If they want to beat the top teams, if they want to beat EXO, if they want to beat Velocity, if they want to reach that top spot and even claim, the title for the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3, they need to be a cut above the rest. And you don't do that by giving up maps like this. You don't do that by losing to textbook Valorant. It's not how you make things happen. But hey, there's always another map. Let's go to the break now and see if True Rippers can come back strong from the next one. Bounce back on Haven, a map that they've picked up, and hopefully a map that's going to be a bit more competitive.
from the legends of memory and storage Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LG Ultragear Presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner Aimlab. I'm Floki. Joining me for this one's going to be Universe. The first best of three of the day was between True Rippers and the side of EXO, and guess what, EXO? Well, they handily beat out the side of True Rippers on the first map of Split 13-4. It wasn't even close. Except for a few rounds. They were close, but the rest of the game wasn't. Let's hope that
Yeah.
doesn't happen on Haven, because I actually think that Haven could also end up being super one-sided unless True Rippers, they're able to win out the pistol and get that early momentum going on, because man, it feels like they need some right now.
Yeah, I think that momentum is something that they desperately need to find on Haven, because if they don't start off with a good note, if they don't win the pistol, they don't win the round after, XR are just gonna keep reminding them of what happened on Split, and that is something that you really don't want, you know. And I the one thing that I do want to point out though, I know that Bones has been a part of this squad, you know, for a long time, and he was the better player today. You know, he did do a great job, but somehow I feel that Relic is being missed here. I think him being in the lineup is something that's a lot more common than Bones. Bones is the sixth man, And I think that, True Rippers are kind of missing his presence because he's like the kind of a backbone that a team would, desperately need. And I think that Bones is great, but when it comes to a little bit more team cohesion, like chemistry, I think that Relic would have probably done a better job. But hey,
Yeah.
let's go to the agent selection. I know this is me talking about all this, but Floki, as we talk about what agents they select, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think,
KO and Breach.
Relic?
There you go. Those are my thoughts.
Okay. KO and
Nah,
Breach.
Not gonna
Well,
happen. But I
least
get the so one Breach.
one's true. One is true. The Breach is there for Blackhawk to use, which I am a little bit confused about. I mean, I've seen him play. This is something I've seen multiple times. By the way, Ghost does go for that controller role here. Do you see how he's expanded? Ghost, he's done Sentinel, he's done Controller, he's done Initiator, and he's done the duels. He's pretty much conquered Valorant. What more do we need right now?
Yeah, he's the guy who basically, walks into a team and says yes. Because he can play the Jet, he can play, the Astra, he's been playing the Sage often as well. I'm quite sure it's not going to take a lot for him to learn the ropes with something like a Killjoy or a Cypher.
Cypher, yeah.
I mean, even though Sai is usually the one who picks up that Cypher, I'm sure Ghost could too. Speaking of Cypher,
choose
though,
your agent.
Yeah, Bones has got it. And I just want to hit back at the same thing. That joke is in my hand. Ghost walks into a team. What do you play? Yes.
Yes, that's what I play. But yeah, I wanted to allude to the fact that Bones is going to be playing the Cypher and not Relic. And individually, Bones hasn't been the problem, right? I mean, we saw he was top fragging for his team last round. This man is not the issue. The issue is the coordination and the chemistry between these players, like you mentioned. That's what's really holding them back right now. And if it's going to continue to hold them back on Haven, then they are going to cut their journey short in the upper bracket and move on down to the lower bracket where things are a lot longer, the road is a lot more treacherous, and the games are a lot harder because everyone is giving it their all. So, yeah, I mean, True Rippers, they better win this map, otherwise they're going to be going down into the lower bracket, and I assume it's not going to be easy for them to climb back up. But let's jump into the game and see what the defense and the offense is going to look like for the most part. Haven, a map that the side of True Rippers have picked up. Let's see what they can actually, pull off on this one. As we can see, Byte coming out from them, a Sheriff in the hands of Excali, and everyone else on the side of True Rippers going for Coasts. Okay, so I'm going to be one-tap God, buying up a bunch of utility on the Astra, opting to be the definite controller for his team and being a bit more conservative with his life.
Well, let's find out how they're going to do this. Paradox and Co. on the attack, moving in towards Garage early on as they look to find their first pistol of this series. Blackhawk going to try and stop them with his utility. But for now, True Rippers have actually completely halted here. Crosshair finds a side, walking straight into his crosshairs, and Paradox gets another, but Wimp trades back. It's going back and forth here. EXO have got themselves to a 3v3. It's a little bit of a problem. He's cucked in that corner. Wimp gets away from it, and EXO are a little bit of a strugglesome point right now.
Oh, Bones on the flank! Whips a few
planted.
shots, but in the end, he's chosen. That's what matters. Paradox is also good for another as Wimp gets found, leaving Excali and a Sheriff in a 1v3. A tall order for this man. If there is someone who can do it, if there is someone cracked enough, both in the head and in the game, it is him. Let's see if he can do it. Okay, gets spotted out by Bones. Oh, you're worried about the crossfire, worried about all and every angle there is. And yeah, there you go, True Rippers. We were talking about how they needed the momentum to be in their favor. This time they win the pistol, and the momentum is in their favor.
Well, indeed, but that is something that's going to be answered only after the third round, because they will probably win this one on an easier note. But the round after that is where EXO start hitting back with their buy round. So momentum is something that rides after the third round of Valorant, as the great gods used to say.
Yep. Absolutely. That's it's really decided. For now, a big fault line towards mid. Fails to catch anyone, but does prevent the aggression for a little bit, knowing that there's a breach over here who could potentially have a flash saved up from the previous round. And there you go, that is the flash coming into effect. Blackhawk, good for one, they get bones. He wants more, but he was not gonna find it. Master and one tap god. Well, EXO are just like lamps to the slaughter in this round. And Excali, maybe he can find one. No, he just gets the tag on one tap god. Was unable to finish him off. True Rippers, they'll even get the plant down, so there's some extra money going in their pockets. But this is where the match actually starts shaping up. The first buy round of the game. And EXO, well, they're gonna have money for everything that they want. They're gonna get those Phantoms and Vandals up and running. Save, except for maybe Excali, but his utility is not gonna make a world of difference. You know, he's a jet, so he can get away with getting those second round buys. The question is though, can True Rippers win out on this bonus with just few rifles? They've got a Phantom and they've got a Vandal, but that's about it.
Placing swarm grenade.
A map like Haven though, those Spectres, they can do a fair bit of work. Can they find the angles that they want though? First point of contact is going to be Paradox, and I'm not feeling good. Trying to look into the side instead, but Blackhawk doesn't let him sneak by in those kind of situations. There you go, Blackhawk as well, just sorry, Wimp as well, just taking a few pot shots but backing away with the information. And now EXO feeling a lot more comfortable. You know, now that they've found the pick and now that they know where a bunch of these players are, they can just take it easy. Blackhawk is looking to take the initiative though. This could be a bit unnecessary. You know, he definitely could find a kill and make life easier for his team, but could also just as easily get caught out if he's not careful.
EXO playing on the back end is what I like right now. They do not want to give away anything. They don't need to peek. They don't need to move ahead. And I like this approach, and it looks like it might work out for them in the retake scenario because they will have 5 players alive. Now they're deciding to push up. Blackhawk and Psy, both the initiators, are gaining map control and information as True Rippers are making their strides towards A, and Excali is waiting for them.
Oh yeah, and there you go. That's the recon dot you're looking for.
That gap. Oh, it covered up. No, it's not, is it? He could spray down Master, but not gonna. Sorry, he could have sprayed down Bones, but not gonna happen. But the teammates of Excali stabilized this round. Bones is gonna be the only one with a trade, and he's stuck with a cage behind which he's only gonna find his death. That's gonna be number 1 for EXO with their buy round. Like I said, momentum would only be riding if True Rippers had somehow pulled out this bonus. But I still want to give them the benefit of doubt. Just because, well, they're going to have a buy round come in yet again. And if they win this, then I will agree, they have momentum to work with.
Most certainly. I mean, it's not going to be easy for them. But now that they've got all the weapons in the world to work with, now that they've actually got their hands on a couple of Vandals and Phantoms, maybe they can make this happen. Both is going to be playing on the Sheriff. Seems like he just wants to save up money and, you know, make sure that the economy doesn't look too horrendous in the next round, but no, he's gonna buy the Spectre instead and go all in. That is a weird way to fault line, looking down at the ground. Never seen that one before. But Excali pushing up early on over here and aiming. This could be absolutely big. They are holding the cross over here, but there is Blackhawk with the flashes. Could give them the opening, but no, Excali was a bit too early and gets cleaned up. Crosshair finds him. And now, the map, it's theirs for the taking. If they want to go B, they can. They're trying to make this into a C hit. They spot out Wimp, so that's a lot of information. And Wimp, he is going to be in a world of trouble. Survive somehow. And this Nanosol keep him alive for a little while longer, but Bones eventually puts him 6 feet under. Ghost is going to get revealed on the back of the Recon Dart and the Neural Theft, as if one wasn't enough already, leaving only Psy and Blackhawk in a 1v2. The Rolling Thunder gonna be safe for the next round. No way on earth they can try and make this happen.
You meant 5v2, right?
What did I say?
1v2.
Oh yeah, the 2v5.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a Rolling Thunder, so like you said, you know, the utilization of it is going to be in the rounds to come, but this is True Rippers taking control of things in their home map. And I like seeing this. I would want them to go further on and find a couple more and probably deliver the same kind of blow that EXO did in the map of Split. 5-1 they were up, 6-2 they were up, 7-3 they were up, and I would love to see the side of True Rippers do the same. But EXO are not gonna let that go by so soon. They are a team that assesses. Okay, ladders. We're standing on stairs. Everybody in line. We're gonna have a march past here.
You've heard of the human centipede, now you hear of the human staircase. A lot less gory and a lot less gruesome than the human centipede, of course. Well, the momentum they were looking for has been found. True Rippers, they win that round, and they do it quite handily with all their players surviving. So, yep, all those weapons being carried over into the next one, and Shorty's coming out from the side of X, or at least Excali looking to get one. Oh no, it didn't dash away, got a little greedy. And Paradox said, thank you very much. Your scalp now belongs to me. Well, Blackhawk could be the one, but Byte fights too with the back of that flash. Has another one in the waiting away in the wing. Well, that was not what I was expecting, but they're still trying to try and hold on to this one. Whip was good for another, but Master is stabilizing in a 1v1 now, and Ghost doesn't have the weapons. But yeah, it should have never been this close in the first place. Blackhawk somehow sprayed them two down, and now first he. Okay, they both did not anticipate each other coming in from those angles, so
I have the
take a bit of a chill pill.
area.
Call a bit of a break here, a bit of a ceasefire, and then continue the shenanigans. Spike is gonna get planted down. Master will at least get that going. Ghost gonna be holding in the meantime, trying to catch Master moving astray, and now he knows where Master is. And Master, well, he's not even gonna wait for Ghost to show, just starts spamming him preemptively and gets the kill. A lot closer than it had to be, and I think EXO are going to be very, very happy with the economic damage that they have dealt, because they have prevented the side of TR from snowballing and cascading further into a succession of 3, maybe even 4 buy rounds. And now just made it so that they can maybe get 3, but they can definitely get 2 in a row if they lose. Could have been worse. I mean, that's all really EXO are looking to do. They get a lot of kills. I mean, Blackhawk, credit where credit is due. Credit where credit is due. He did a lot of work there, but definitely well that could have gone EXO's way. Well, when you don't have a Sage, that's how you hold mid. Just spamming wall right at the start of the round.
Well, True Rippers are looking to find their footing here. They have found most of it. And for good reason. They are putting down the ground, putting down the force here against EXO. Bones gonna be a little bit of a problem here. Oh boy, Wimp. He could have taken out one, I think, but he had to retreat away. And it's yet again onto Ghost. He's gonna be detected. He's been in a mode of panic ever since he's been in this corner. And this time, he's surviving for a little longer than expected. He climbs upon that platform. He's gonna be decimated. And there's nobody to support. Ghost finds one. Headshot straight onto him. He's got jumping classics ahead of him. He's gonna try one of his own. Not gonna work out. Excali wants to spam down through these walls and get the kill. He's not done yet. He's got the knives he can activate. And he goes up straight in the air, facing both the players. A little too reckless for his own good. And that's gonna give the side of True Rippers number 5.
Forgot to press the knives there, I believe. I think his play was probably to do that after he got those knives up. But not too sure what that was all about. Losing the operator, a big chunk of economy just being taken away from the hands of EXO, and once again they're down to an eco. TR, they continue to snowball. Their wealth continues to compound, and yeah, soon enough, they can probably opt for retirement.
Scanning ahead.
Live a nice life in the Bahamas or Bali, wherever they would like to go. Probably after this match, so they can't do that just yet. Blackhawk is anticipating a push coming in from a shot. Will stop it, but there's really no one there just yet. Now one tap God's and try and make his way through sewers. But EXO have rotated it. They can still potentially hold this, but those Seekers keep them at bay. Plant coming through. Size actually gonna let go of the ultimate to prevent that plant from coming in. Excali almost finds the pick there. But an almost is not a definite yes, and they still need to find those kills. Paradox, in the meantime, takes down Blackhawk, continues to spam that Cypher cage, manages to get Excali as well. I mean, there's just so much stuff committed here in this round from the side of EXO, but they've got nothing to show for it. Instead, they get Paradox pushing his own smoke like a crazed lunatic. And guess what? He finds both of those kills. Stat padding for him at this point. Yeah, EXO. Well, they've got to buy again, but they're gonna be a little bit upset that they blew the knives as well as the Hunter's Fury and found nothing to show for it.
Not a little. EXO are clearly struggling here, and they are struggling heavy. This is exactly the scroll line where EXO had put True Rippers in the previous map. Only that they were on top of things. This time, they are the ones fighting and not able to keep the fight in their court. Everything True Rippers do it successfully in this map. And that's exactly why they chose Haven, and look at this! An
That should
amazing
never
push!
Spike.
Aw,
Just gonna be straightforward, that should never work. Paradox should have never gotten that kill, but it's Paradox and he's gonna light up you again! This
Dude.
beast. What does he eat for breakfast? I mean,
I
I'm
don't-
quite sure even if I replicate his breakfast, I won't have the same success as he does, but man, this guy just, on a note, just turns it on and turns it off. He's an absolute monster. And once again, EXO on the back foot. 6-round deficit for them. Sheriffs once again. Yeah, at this point, they're just hoping that they're able to put up a better show on Ascent here, because this half, and potentially this game, is not going to go their way. Now, True Rippers, they could get a bit over-eager and lose a couple of their weapons and throw away their economy.
Paradox?
And Paradox,
Hello?
well, okay, just gonna continue to push W. Doesn't really find all that much, but Cross is gonna be there to get at least something in return. Force is gonna find Whip in the meantime, and there you go. There's a neutral step coming through. That's exactly what they needed. Now with all that information working in their favor, they're gonna make their way towards A side. Gonna be stopped nice with that spike and start tagging him up. Excali. Oh!
Okay!
Wow.
Excalibur with a worldy of a shot, but he's not gonna find anything more. Ghost has been left alone. 1 versus 3. A Phantom and a little bit of armor to work with. But he's been spotted out. And that's probably gonna be the end of his campaign in this round. Unless Ghost, just the one. No more. Number 8 comes up, and how the tables have turned. How hard have EXO fallen in this map of Haven here, Floki. This is honestly unexpected. You said you wanted to see it competitive, but it just, you know, flipped the tide like literal coin flip.
No. I said something else on Split, if you remember. I remember them. I remember me saying something about them not, you know, really wanting to play that map as much and just going into this one like, you know what, they're probably gonna have Split. Let's give it to them and move on to Haven. Focus on that. If that's really the strat over here coming in from True Rippers, I am gonna be, well, surprised to say the least, but I'm probably gonna be a lot more surprised. This time around, though, I like EXO. They're gonna take the fight to the side of True Rippers. Excali. Oh no! That got it blocked. His retreat, and he gets shot straight in the head by Paradox in turn. And now the A side's completely open. They know they have all the information in the world to work with. Those nanostorms get triggered. Sigh. What? No way on earth that should have happened. What's that? Finds a freebie and 4v3 for them now. No rolling thunder for the breach, and there's no way on earth they can retake this side without spending
You are
any ultimate.
divided!
They probably need to commit the lockdown or the cosmic divide, and EXO, well,
Variable
they're
removed.
gonna try to find something. They get
Seek
mastered,
them out.
but Crosshair's gonna throw the Seekers getting response. He's not willing to give them this round for free here. There you
Well,
go.
Spike planted.
this is a one-time chance for EXO to find this. Bones is holding down the angle with his camera. He takes out the turret, but here he is going to be detained. There isn't Cosmic Divide protecting him, but they need to be careful here, EXO. The defuse is being stuck there, going through. Blackout finds the kill, but one tap got takes out the defuser, and it's all into Bones. Bones sees through. He's not finding the defuse sounds coming into his ears, and that's exactly why he's not gonna stop them from getting that defuse. 8-2. EXO survive.
To make it competitive. I mean, this was very, very important, but once again, has the train left the station? Is it too little too late? Because it doesn't seem like EXO are gonna have a lot of money if they lose this one, because you have to remember the lost bonus is gonna go away. So yeah, this is gonna be problematic to say the least for the side of EXO. I mean, sure, they got weapons in this round, but look at the money on True Rippers. They can afford to lose every single round. You know, they've got money to work with. And And they've got ultimates too. I mean, they've got the Hunter Fury up and running. They should have the Needle Theft coming back up soon enough if Bones is able to find a couple. But Paradox is just popping off, man. He gets Ghost through his own smoke, holding the back of C. And now he's looking for more, gets spotted, but dashes away back to safety. Blackhawk does find Master in turn, but guess what? This has just been set up for Bones to get into a really sneaky position inside Garage. Now, Sai is aware about this, and he... Oh, wow, this is big from Bones. He's actually using the camera. Oh, that was close. Sai swings, misses. Oh, no. Bones actually goes inside his own cage to find a kill, but guess what? Paradox, he is still putting in legwork. Manages to find Blackhawk, but they've made their move on A, and Wimp is holding them back with those Nano Swarms. Not long enough to prevent the plant from coming in, and Excali will finally find the cheeky pest that is Paradox, but... Oh wait, no, Wimp, they were unaware that he was inside. Smokey is gonna be good for one, he's gonna be good for two. The round being completely shut down on the back of this single man's play.
Last round before the switch.
Or on a single man's play. I didn't mean to indicate his relationship status. I have no idea if he is single or not, but yeah, 8-3 now. And True Rippers probably want to get this last round under their belt as well. They've got the money for it. They just want that round number going up. Want it to be 9-3 instead of 8-4. Can X prevent that?
Well, I'm not quite sure if they can prevent it, but
Standing ahead. Up and out running, so you know they could potentially retake, and that is the pick they're looking for. The Danger Man, Paradox, just completely taken out of the picture here outside Garage. And Knives also being popped by Excali, just in case. So he doesn't have to go through that initial animation again, just saving time. And True Ripper's a little bit confused about what to do. With one man down, I mean, look at the amount of utility coming in from the Killjoy. She can stop the push for days, just hold this site down by herself. All Exo need to worry about is the B and the C site.
well, True Rippers have been humbled in the last couple of rounds, and Sai is continuing to do that. As they've got 3 players left. They know where 2 of them are at least. EXO. Bones misses his cage. It's just been a little bit of a same way, you know, it's kind of like, how would you say same for something happening that the last 3 rounds have translated. Wimp gets 1 more before he goes down. That's going to be an easy kill for Sai, and the Rolling Thunder wasn't even needed. And Excali from the backstab is going to miss 1 blade, but he connects the remaining 3. And that's going to be EXO with 8-4. They stabilized for a little bit. Around a half that looked like could have ended maybe 10-2. Mid 8-4 is, well, I want to say the best case scenario for what we've seen True Rippers to be in that first attacking half, but now it's time for EXO to show us what they've got. They've got a Breach, they've got a Jet, and that combo is devastating. Couple that with the utility of an Astra, you've got a lot of concussions, and you know, weapons not firing at the proper rate. And the only way that EXO are going to win this is by taking this pistol. Where are they going to go?
Yep, that is the $1 million question. Area. Could go anywhere, but could and just easily make a play outside. Hey, look at what's happening to its seal. This is so much information. That Hawk, it doesn't go where it's supposed to. So that is actually massive, because now the side effects so can get into A. And all that early play only now is going to start taking shape. You know, now they're going to know that, okay, something's up. EXO is either outside B or outside A, and that should tell them where they are. But the rotations are not going to come in time. Look at the rest of True Rippers. They're all the way over to the other part of the map. There are people coming in on the backstab, though. So all that they need to do on the side of True Rippers is let them have the site, let them get the plant, and wait for the backstab to be activated. But guess what? There's a turret in play there. So, yeah, it's... gonna be spotted this rotation coming in, and EXO are gonna be aware. They should know something is up because they were given the site for free. It's a 5v5 situation. And True Rippers, they're trying their best to sandwich them, but EXO have really good position. They can make this work. Hell, Sai, he finds one. He spots out the 2 players coming in from A main and quickly gives up that piece of real estate. Blackhawk even throws a flash up for good measure. There you go. EXO trying to shut this round down, but one tap God fighting back, and so is Crosshair. But all alone by himself against 2 players of EXO. Now that is just an order that suits all for him to complete. EXO 5-8 now. A much needed pistol win, so they can crash and claw their way back into this game. prevent this from going on to Ascent, which, like we saw yesterday, it started off great for them, but man, Weird Esports made them sweat there towards the end. And they don't want that same thing happening again today. They want to try and finish it off on Haven itself if possible. And ENIGMA, well, they certainly rattled True Rippers' jammies a bit, but True Rippers, after this round, should be able to stabilize and get their head back in the game. Well, if it's not broke, why fix it? So the same thing they go again, and Excali, well, he's gonna be the first point of homicide as he takes down Bones. And Paradox gonna try and sneak up towards Suez. Was hoping to catch him off guard, but just a bit too ambitious. And there you go. I mean, Crosshair, that is a good dig. Can't fall off on it though, so Excali does get away, but he's got enough space for his team to get the plant down. And yeah, at this point, it's just them trying to do any economic damage at all.
One tap god.
And yeah, Master, I don't think he can even drop down here without dying. He's just gonna die to the ball now.
Last player standing.
Confined to that little area called Heaven. At 2-7, he is sent for the
Oh boy, okay.
Crosshair, well, he made it look pretty. For about a second, and then EXO just took the ball right back out of his hands, and now in the driver's seat once again. First buy round coming in for True Rippers in the second half. Let's see what they can do. I mean, they look pretty good on their offense, but now, you know, try to hold a side down without something like a Killjoy, it could get fairly hard. That Cypher is pretty good. Those tripwires and cages slow the pushes down a little bit. But it's something that the side of EXO can disrespect because they've got a breach and they've got an Astra, so they can just very easily just not care too much about that. And there you go, Bones. I mean, as soon as all that utility comes pouring in, he's gonna give it up. And look at the number of rotations being forced, and this is big. Wimp is not seeing anything back towards Garage. He's playing all the way in attack or spawn. But still, EXO, I mean, if they get some information on this side, they could potentially make their way back towards B. Unfortunately, though, they only spot out the sky. So far, they're only aware about 2 people from the side of True Rippers present on the A side.
That flash is gonna give a little bit of information as Crosshair. He's got a heavy setup of defense along with him here on the A side as EXO are preparing to go in here. That is gonna clear out a little bit of angle, and Crosshair, he gets concussed. He's probably gonna go down to Excali, and he will. Bones will find the trade, but there's a lot of chaos on this A side with EXO finding the side. They are definitely gonna get the plant as True Rippers have to play this 4v4 retake. They've still got Bones alive with the camera intact on site, which will give information. And there it is. They know Excali. They know one's under site. And now Paradox needs to be the cutting knife edge, but Wimp takes out Bones. That's going to be a problem. Paradox tries to crawl into the side, only on to find his dead to size Vandal. And there's goes to get another, and Excali finishes it off. 8 and 7. EXO are back in the game.
So they're building up that lead, man. I mean, now with 3 rounds strung together in a row since the pistol, this is big. They're gonna start building up their economy and really put the side of True Rippers in an uncomfortable spot, because this is essentially the round where they're equalizing the score, and then they start going in for the jugular, you know, really start looking for the lead. And yep, putting and asking all sorts of tough questions to True Rippers, and True Rippers, they don't really have the right response. I mean, it really seems that the lack of Sage or the lack of some sort of defensive agent like a Killjoy is really hurting the side of True Rippers at the moment. I mean, sure, you know, this is how they play the map. They try and take more map control and they try and be a bit more aggressive, but this is just an eco round, so this is not something you can expect it's going to happen very often. Well, they're good for one. They find Wimp, but Sai is still on the flank looking for those free kills.
Well, he might find one, as I would expect. He should know that his teammates are being pressured here, as they've taken the A side. And here's Paradox going on the back of that Seeker to find a kill, but I don't think this is right. Oh, Sai, he goes down, gives a weapon, but EXO are still in control of things with the extra weaponry that they have. Master is the only one with a Vandal. And True Rippers need to find this Ghost! A little too low. 1 bullet is all they need. Even through a wall, they can take him down. True Rippers have a chance, but it's kind of a thin one. because Excali is still alive, and he's the one man that they need to be careful about. Excali's taken out. This is gonna be a problem. Blackhawk, he gets his flash out, and he goes for the kill. He's gonna get the round. Blackhawk, you need to be careful, my friend. Every single time you get a kill, this man almost whips out a piece of utility from his arms, his metallic arms that just find him in a position where he should be having his weapon. Instead, he's got his arms opening up, ready for a blast, but this time, thanks to his opponents not having any superior weaponry, he's gonna survive. And XO find number 8, but mistakes like this cannot be committed again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, EXO, they've pretty much pulled this one back in their favor. You know, this was not going that well for them, but these last few rounds, the clutch coming in from Blackhawk should invigorate them with tons of confidence. Excali, a pretty standard dash towards the side, but no one's really there to clean him up. In fact, they're gonna get cleaned up instead, and oh my god, the span from the Spoke puts Master down to 18 points of life.
Spike planted.
I mean, it was over for him before it even started, and he doesn't even get to see the dawn of day. He's just done for. Paradox gets spotted, Crosshair gets set up, gets one, but now they know where they all are, and Blackhawk, okay buddy, that might be a bit too aggressive for you. You're just a breach without your flashes. You only have the fourth line to work with now.
Scout destroyed.
Take it a little bit easy, my friend.
Well, he's got support, so he's not afraid. He knows his teammates are gonna clutch out this round even if he dies. And Wimp is already on the hunt. Blackhawk needs to be careful. Forgive me. Paradox needs to be careful. And that's what happens when you go around a corner. Wimp finds his third of the round, with him and Excali just running straight in towards that side, rioting their way. And Crosshair, oh, he's got somebody running towards him. That's Wimp, and oh,
so close. Holy moly. Yeah, that could have been ugly, but hey, True Rippers, they're able to save up one weapon in the hands of Crosshair. And the Vandal sees the next round, but yeah, I'm not sure if that by itself is enough to stem the bleeding that True Rippers are clearly experiencing right now. 9-8. They haven't won a round in the last 5. Not even the last 5, in fact the last 8 from the previous half, so yeah, I mean, EXO, they've definitely got the momentum going, and they're gonna keep it going. They find Crosshair, the only man who had any chance whatsoever of pulling this round back in their favor, gets caught out in the open on A main, flashed and destroyed, and yeah, True Rippers, I mean, they recover the Vandal, sure, but how much work can one Vandal really do?
you know what's fascinating to me though? EXO have taken the side of True Rippers. Now they're probably going to be taking the 10th round, right?
Yep.
They were 8-2 down at one point. And
Yeah,
now they're up, they're going to be up 10-8. How many rounds in a row is that?
8. Precisely 8 rounds in a row. When they win this one. If they win this one, to be honest. Let's just be perfectly clear. I mean, True Rippers, they still have a chance of winning it if EXO screw up gloriously, but that seems unlikely. Excali has found a lot of control towards A main. Not control,
he's gonna
precisely,
sneak
a lot of
past.
information. This
But
is
Wimp,
big
he
win.
might just find... Oh, he
Never
stabilizes. Thanks to him having a sheriff and nothing more, but they get it.
Spike
Okay.
down A.
Well, the glorious screw-up might just be coming in over here. 2 weapons picked up. At least 1 for now. One tap god under heaven is gonna go down. Blackhawk is gonna take him out of the count.
10 seconds left.
And here's Sai coming on the back end. He finds the kill thanks to a shock dart. And it's all on the Master. And they know exactly where he is. And there's nothing he can do.
Man.
Number 10 for EXO as they struggle a little bit. 2 players do go down, but they still have 9,000 creds. Economy is here for days. They're swimming in cash. And Paradox and Co are struggling after this on the second half.
Yeah, I mean, this is not looking like it's their map pick. This is bad. I mean, the
I mean,
first
it
half
did
was
look
very
like it
strong.
was their map pick, right?
At one point in the distant in the distant past, yes, but now, you know, since the last couple of rounds, not really. It just seems that EXO, I mean, it's not even that they figured out the side of TR. There's really not much to figure out. All they really have to think about are the tripwire placements, and Sai has been on point with them. And there you go. There's the big ultimate going through the rolling thunder, flapping absolutely no one in the sight, but Excali still finds a kill. And that's what it was good for. Clearing up that entire area. Master good for one. Bolts finds Ghost, spamming through that wall there. And now Excali needs to be aware. Doesn't spot anyone though, doesn't get cleaned up, allows him to get into a very aggressive position. But they are gonna check this, right? Well, there needs to be Paradox here, so no free kill, but Paradox runs away at the worst possible time.
That's all he needed. Sai gets another with the shock dart, and that is EXO in their presence on the map of Haven. 2 versus 2, and here's the ultimate that Sai has been waiting to use. He's just biding by time for Excali to getting closer, and that's about it. The dash yet again available to him, and Excali has been all over Haven, and he's gonna take them to a number 11. And EXO have not had more of a revelation this season than this map right here. Being 8-2 down, coming back up 11-8 is not a joke, is not an easy feat. And this is exactly why EXO have been so good in the group stages. Unbeaten, and they look like they want to go towards that upper bracket semifinal.
Yeah, dropping maps, but never really dropping series. And EXO might just end up continuing the streak. A very early fault line towards A main catches out the Sova. And Excali is trying to capitalize, trying to find someone in the back. If it doesn't see anyone just yet, Crosshair gets a bit too eager. Paradox is actually on the flank. He's managed to find himself 3. Somehow he's going to look for a foot. Oh,
Paradox!
Oh boy, that was insane. My goodness, this man on the flank so quick. Just a bait and switch setup. Paradox just holding shift walk all the way from mid. Comes back, gets the kill. Holds the round right back. And the economy looking okay for True Rippers for a change. They've got money to work with now. Well,
They do
TEAMXO.
have. Well, you know, the one thing that TEAMXO do have is money, like you said. And I think that they need to find this run, or else True Rippers are gonna be able to. Oh, Paradox! That's a little too aggressive for your own good, my friend. I don't know how he survived there. But Excali, of course, through the bloody cage, he finds a kill. And here's One Tap God, maybe wanting to be cheeky, and he will be allowed to, but just for 1 kill. 4 versus 3. Seekers available for the defenders in this retake. But what can they do? Man disadvantage. They've got a cosmic divide in front of their eyes. The garage might be clear, but the site isn't. And now they have to move in. Paradox, not the best of weapons to have for a retake, but he's gonna find an avenue opening. Here's a flash. Excali, a little too aggressive for his own good. He's gonna go down. There's Master getting another. A third coming in. No Ghost finds it. But now it's a 1v2 and it's all into side. No utility to work with. Just his pure aim. He's got Paradox on top of things. His teammate's defusing. And he's gonna get played out here. Master will find him instead. And that's gonna be True Rippers with a successful retake.
Oh, this is gonna be heartbreaking, EXO. I mean, they've got one more buy remaining, but after this one, I think they're gonna be going for broke here. And True Rippers, I mean, this is going to be a very interesting last few rounds coming in. Money on both sides, not looking bad. But for EXO, it could get a little problematic if they lose this round. And True Rippers, they've pulled that momentum right back. And boy, what better way to do it than Paradox finding all those stylish kills. I mean, I think that is his 3rd quadra kill of the game. He's had 2 in the previous half. And yeah, he just got 1 with the knives in the one before that. So an absolute 10. Master, okay, that's a very early Hunter's Fury. Gets some information. Gets a lot of information, in fact. He spots out the sky and the breach. Well, or was it a jet? No, it was actually Excali. He gets shot in the head. Cleaned up by Crosshair, and he's managed to conserve that advantage. Get back towards A main. But the rest on the side of EXO is to make it work. They know where Paradox is, they know where Crosshair was, Do they make a gamble? No, they're gonna wait for Wimp to be activated somehow. And Wimp, well, he's gonna take that drone down. Now they've got some information to work with, and they're gonna make their way towards. Well, nowhere just yet. It's not enough information to play off of, and Wimp is gonna try and change things up, maybe moving towards Garage. But there's a very cheeky tripwire from Bones in that position. And that entrance is not gonna go undetected. And EXO, they just look confused, Universe. They don't know where to go.
Yeah, they do look confused, but they are still having their gaze towards A. Sai's holding down a
30
recon,
seconds
waiting
left.
to move in with his teammates. But without Excali, there's nobody to dash straight into this. They're gonna have to run, and Ghost is gonna be the only one to find a kill. Master is already taking on Wimp. And here we go, Master, a little too close for comfort. One tap god, looking in the wrong direction, but still he gets one, finds two, and it's Blackhawk all alone, reloading, out in the open, stuck. Can't do anything. And that's gonna be all there is for EXO to say. Two Rippers stabilized. They find their groove back. They put up 3 rounds in a row. And this is turning out to be a bit of an interesting end game. Are EXO gonna be able to 2-0 this thing? Or are we gonna see a map number 3?
That is not a question I can answer, but EXO, they really don't want this to go to a map 3. They want to try and shut this down. They've got, you know, they've got something to work with, but they're playing
I'm
for
going
overtime
above.
over here. That's a very sane decision to make. They're not gonna blow all their cash on this round to try and pull this one right out of the bag. Instead, try and take it to overtime. You know, really stretch this one out and make the side of TR suffer mentally. And I might actually end up finding a pick here. No, Crosshair actually wins that duel thanks to the superior weapon, but
Without us
Right,
pulling them
so
in.
did a fair amount of damage. One tap god. He hears so many people inside the side, but he can't find any one of them. But he peeks out and lines up too.
enemy
Whip and
remaining.
Blackhawk both bite the dust. Even Ghost ends up going down and Drew Rippers.
What?
Well-
What just happened suddenly?
I
Match point.
do not know, but man, this is keeping me on the edge of my seat. 12 to 11 Universe. This could potentially be the last round for the side of EXO.
It most certainly could be. They do have a buy. They have a full-fledged buy, and this is the last resort. We are down to the 24th round here, and, well, as you would have not expected, after seeing EXO have that revelation of 8, 9, 10 rounds in a row, you should have thought that, okay, this is going to end up being EXO's. But then two Rippers hit back. Somehow they find success, and they take the lead right back into their corner. And now EXO are being careful about this.
Well, Bones, you've got the Sigma in your name, but are you a Sigma male? I've been playing alone for the most part, so I imagine you are, but can create those openings by himself. He's got Paradox to work with over here, and the rest of EXO grouping up outside A. When all else fails, there you go, the Rolling Thunder comes through. It's gonna slap absolutely everybody on the side. Excali's gonna find one. Got there, he's good for the trade, but okay, Bones is actually able to find another one. Crosser shuts down Blackhawk.
down
All of a
A.
sudden, this push falling apart until Wimp pulls it back, gets some
You
space
should
for his team,
run.
and now the lockdown coming through, really trying to take this to overtime.
are divided.
2v2. And the Cosmic Divide comes through as well from the attackers. Gonna buy them so much time to work with here. Spike, though, it's gonna take a long time to be off, and they're gonna try and hold this one from shot instead. Or are they? Well, they're splitting up. They're actually kind of... Okay, this is fairly interesting over here. So they've made sure that Wimp is coming all the way back from A main, and they're gonna play the spike plant from A main instead. It can still be stuck to an extent, but yeah, you can't swing wide
Got a
enough to
target as
contest that from A
obscuring
main
vision.
itself. So let's see if EXO are able to hold on to this. Oh, wait a second. Okay, the gravity well. That's what was needed. One tap god does get pulled in, and the time. Oh, it's just not in their favor. He can't hold it.
Overtime indeed.
It's gonna be overtime. EXO, that's what they were looking for, and we are gonna
Last
go for
player
first
standing.
overtime for this
Switching
best of
sides.
3.
Overtime.
And EXO, well, they should be pleased with that. I mean, they made the best situation out of no situation, really. You know, they were down what 8 to 2, and then they made it to 10 to 8 or 11 to 8 or something like that. And sure, the side of True Rippers. They say not today, but at least they take them to overtime now. So they know for sure that this isn't free for them. Money no longer an issue. We'll see what the setups are going to look like, because that's what it's all going to be about at this point. And you have to remember, the side of True Rippers, they did have the better attacking half, so if they can pull this round off, we could potentially see ourselves going to a third map, but it's all going to hinge on what they do next. Bones is going to try and... okay, never mind. He just put up a tripwire towards A. Try and catch some patients coming in early on. Paradox does eat some damage on the back of that shotgun, but he's still standing strong. Does he anticipate where Excali is going to be? Oh no, Paradox is actually trying to fake some sound here. This is really big. Excali looks away at the wrong time, but guess what? He still stabilizes. Bones elsewhere is going to be able to find Blackhawk. Does he anticipate Wimp? That's the question. Inside his own Cypher cage. No, Wimp got looking in the wrong direction, and the A side is up for the taking. And you can see them hurtling all the way back towards A. And Bones, he's already on the lurk for the next kill. Look at this man. He just keeps striking from the shadows. Absolutely relentless.
Taking that back.
Psy and Ghost, 2 versus 4. They've
Oh,
got players around them every single where. Crosshair towards B main, who might just be detected here. Yes, he will. They've got one more to take care of, and that is Bones towards their spawn. Both of them have been detected, and this is it. It's all on Bones. No, Bones! He misses, but now all he needs to do is keep them engaged. His camera's been taken out, and Ghost needs to move into the site right now. Time is running past too much. Psy finds Master, and they're gonna find this. If one tap god goes down, that's probably gonna be the end of it, but it looks like Bones has done enough.
Yeah,
That's it. He's jumping straight down to his death. He doesn't care, and it's done. Number 13 pops up for True Rippers.
Yep. True Rippers, I mean, they really need this map.
Switching
And
sides.
took everyone
point.
from their side just to get that round under their belt, but when economy is not a problem, they will take it. I mean, they will take it. This is about as good as it gets after, the blunders that happened from them in the second half. Now, just one round away from the win here. EXO, their offense, it was their better half, but can it do the same magic that it did previously? I mean, True Rippers by now should know that for them, holding on to the site is a little bit difficult, so instead they're just going to try and stack. They get a fair bit of information early on. I believe they spotted out Wimp. They at least know where he is. But could actually be big Paradox. That is such a big push coming in. And guess what? Crosshair, he's just waiting right there for the trade. I mean, Blackhawk, he's going to go in with a false sense of security, and Crosshair's going to find another. Doesn't even get traded out. And now, EXO, well, there you go. The bells are tolling. The stars are coming in. Can they actually even get on site? No, they can't. This is just heartbreaking for them. They've worked tooth and claw to get back into this game, and it's all for naught. Now in a 3v5. Their leader already dead. Bye.
Scout destroyed.
Not in
Here.
that spot. All gonna be down to Coast, Wimp, and Excali.
Blinded.
The young trio. Can they strike? Yes, they can. Excali actually finds Crosshair to start things off. Makes it interesting. Keeps it competitive. 3v4 now. And Master, well, gonna send his drone out on a fact-finding mission. What facts does it find? Find the Astra, that's one.
30 seconds left.
Really not all that much. You really want to see where the Killjar of the Jet is, and well,
Cage
Bones, he's found that information. There you go, the dash coming in. You're trying to get that spike planted at least and fall back to safety, but no. The players from True Rippers are already here.
One
They're
enemy
starting things off, and
remaining.
Bones is just so patient.
Spike down,
Ah,
C.
boy, 1v4
It's
now for
over.
Ghost. No time remaining
10
whatsoever.
seconds left.
He's gonna try his best. One tap Gondo already knows he's spamming the
Defenders
ball.
win.
We are going to a third map, ladies and gentlemen. Haven gets taken up by True Rippers, and Ascent is gonna be the decider. Great stuff coming out from True Rippers. They dropped the ball in the second half a little bit, but they get it to overtime, or rather EXO make sure that it at least goes to overtime. And in overtime, True Rippers, they regain their footing. They remember, guys, this is our map. We need to win it. And they win it, and we're going to be going to Ascent. A bit too close for comfort, though. The way things started, it should never have been this close. But it was, and that's
Yeah.
EXO for you. So, yeah, True Rippers, if you want to win Ascent, well, your work is cut out for you. It's not going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah, and I told you this as well, right? Because if True Rippers want to win this, this is definitely going to go to a third map. And it did. This is True Reaper's only chance because Split was definitely not going to be in their court. Let's move to the highlights and have a look at what just happened, because what should have been True Reapers easily dominating ended up them giving away the ball to the side of EXO for 10 rounds in a row. And then it went down to overtime. And then in the overtime, they had to struggle EXO yet again to find the success that they did for the 10 rounds. So
Yeah,
it just
I mean,
dropped straight to the ground for them, unfortunately. In the beginning, True Rippers, though, they were looking so good. They had exactly the same type of gameplay that EXO were delivering to the side of True Rippers on the map of Split. Except that this time, EXO did make a comeback, whereas True Rippers couldn't on Split. But for good measure, all they care about is the map win. They don't care by how much.
yep. As the wise old man Dominic Toretto once said, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile, a win is a win nonetheless.
Indeed.
And yeah, True Rippers, they're going to take this one and move on to Ascent. But EXO have got to be feeling bad, right? Because they worked so hard to get that lead back.
Oh, yeah.
They even pushed it to overtime, only for it to end right in the first one. So, yeah, they're going to be feeling a little bit upset, but, you know, they got to make sure that they don't let it get to their heads. There's still another map to be played. There's still Ascent coming up, and they can probably make it work. True Rippers, I mean, you know, I'm sure their Ascent is strong, but given what we saw on Haven, it doesn't seem like they play it with, you know, their I's dotted and their T's crossed. No, there is a lack of discipline coming in from them, and EXO have been really good at punishing those. So, yeah, hopefully they're just able to mentally stabilize and prevent themselves from tilting out of control.
Yep.
But before that, I mean, I have to commend True Rippers for that first half they put up. Just an absolute clinic. Paradox on a tear. You know, this man, one map he's sleeping, other map he wakes up, he chooses violence and does not stop till he has, you know, the heads of his enemies. And yeah, this was one of those times. I mean, how many? I'm quite sure he got at least 3 quad kills. I
Yeah,
remember at
he
least
did.
3.
I remember 3 as well. I think he might have gotten more. I think we might have
Could have
missed that, but it's still good enough for the team, because if you look at the scoreboard, Paradox and Excali are on top of things. And it is Excali with the highest number of kills. He is on 24 and Paradox on 22. And this time, look, everybody's performing. You can see it. Everybody is on top of their game on both teams. Just a little bit more on the side of True Rippers, because they edged out in the last bit of this race, this marathon that we've witnessed. Crosshair with 18, One Tap God with 18, Master with 18. That's what made the difference. On the other side, Blackhawk with 18, Sai 16, Wimp 15. You know, just 3 kills, 2 kills. That's what made the difference in the end.
Yeah, and that's all it really takes to win out a map. You know, just a couple of kills, just a couple of mistakes here and there, and before you know it, the match has slipped out from under your feet or through your fingers. And EXO, they know that really, really well after, you know, the fight they put up, only for it to be taken by True Rippers in overtime. So, yep, all they're really hoping to do is to not be disheartened by this, because there's still Ascent to be played, folks. So there's still one map remaining in this best of 3. Who's gonna take it though? Well, we don't know. And if you want to find out, you're gonna have to stay tuned, because we're gonna be coming to a short break, after which we will be back with map number 3. Ascent's gonna be coming up soon, right after the short little break.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner Aimlab. I'm Floki. Joining you for this one's going to be Universe, and very interesting two maps so far between EXO and True Rippers. I see you dangling, nodding, you're shaking your head side to side, being like, yes, it was indeed very fun. And now we move on to Ascent. Split, a bit of a one-sided affair, 13-4 in favor of EXO. True Rippers picked up Haven. It was a lot closer than it should have been for them, 14-12, after having an 8-2 lead in the first half. Well, talk about a throw. Ascent, though, this is where the cookie crumbles. This is where the climax is going to happen. And I wonder what it's going to look like. I wonder if it's going to be True Rippers who end up taking the lead early on, if it's going to be EXO firing off on all cylinders after that last match. Because even though they didn't win it out, they need to be a little bit happy with the fact that they took it to overtime. They managed to make the best possible situation that they could have out of a bad situation. So yeah, they've got a fair amount to be proud of. Just let's hope that they don't let that mental tilt set in, because yeah, they're gonna need it on the map of Ascent, a map that has been around for a long time, and a map that we might even see True Rippers pick up the KO on. But you know what? We don't gotta brainstorm about that. We don't gotta guess and make some weird guesses about that. We can just have a look at it ourselves. We can see what they're gonna pick up, and there you go. EXO right off the bat. Asoa is definitely gonna be in play for them. So probably no KO, because I don't think Coast plays the KO. I think it's usually Sai. Yep.
Yeah, they are going to go for the double initiator setup, where on the other hand, you might see one tap got pick up the raise again, as he did on split. And okay, looks like 3 people want to play duelist now. If they go for that triple duelist setup, I'm going to hit alt F4 right now.
Okay.
We'll
now. See.
I would love to see it. To be honest, I would love to see it. But if
what
True
about a
Rippers...
quadruple duelist? They pick up the Phoenix.
No, come on. Nah, that's not gonna happen. That's definitely not gonna happen. Unless they want one tap god or paradox to act like a drone, live drone. It's probably gonna be the case. But yep.
Select your agent.
Here we are. Triple duelist. I don't think so. True Rippers. Don't mess with our heads. Crosshair. Come on. Change it, Crosshair.
Oh boy, this. There you go. He's changed. He's picked up
the heavens above. We have a double duelist against a single. Double initiator on the side of EXO and double duelist on the side of TR. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a debatable point, because the Sky and Sova combo is so often seen on this map. The Raze has come into the South Asian meta a lot more. I've seen a lot more South Asian teams pick up than what I've seen, the teams around the world pick up. I think that Raze is a okay pick on Ascent. I don't think it's the best. I think
really not think it's the best?
I mean, okay. I think I would go for Reyna. Let's move to the game while we talk about this, because I think Reyna is more self-sustainable here on a map like Ascent, where you would need individual prowess, while Raze kind of might need to be supported by a team.
I kind of feel like Raze does provide you with some very good options, though, right? Because on offense, you can clear out a couple of corners, a couple of cheeky positions on Ascent.
Raze does.
Yeah, I guess that's the only thing Raze brings to the table that Arena perhaps has some trouble dealing with. That turret is not looking in the right direction. It's probably going to be changed up, or maybe it's not. But EXO, well, It's gonna be a good old B rush, and it's gonna be on the back of Ghosts and his guiding lights over here. Bones, oh boy, went out on a fact-finding mission. Okay, doesn't
boy,
Bones. But still gets the kill after the initial contact. Ghost good for 2 though. He's managed to find the man advantage for his team, but Paradox gets blocked up by Bones. He can't dash into his lane, and Blackhawk is gonna clean him up as well, only leaving Wimp in a 1v4. A big blunder coming in from the side of True Rippers, and boy does it cost them. Master not even moving at this point. He is just so petrified of what just happened that he doesn't want to be a part of it.
Wait, what?
He got Ghost. I mean, Ghost was fairly low.
I thought he was hitting Sai, but he got Ghost. He got Ghost through Sai's body, I believe. But,
Yeah.
And that recon is going to trouble him. I know exactly where he is, but Master... Okay, he and his turret are being a bit of a troublesome duo here, but Blackhawk is gonna shut one of them down, which shuts the other one. That's gonna be EXO winning the pistol on the back of a little bit of a problem that they will resolve in the end.
Yeah, great round coming in from EXO. I mean, once again, you know, Ghost just starting off by finding those 2 picks. Sure, Bones chimes back, but that dash block that Bones unfortunately had a part of, that small communication gap really costing True Rippers the pistol. Then once again, True Rippers, they're a team that thrives off of that early momentum, you know, so them not getting the pistol, a huge blow to them. Let's see if they can stabilize in the upcoming rounds. As for now, we're going to be heading to a bit of an eco. An eco that, you know, we've seen them perform on from time to time, but maybe sometimes they can struggle. Not this time around, though. They managed to find one tap, God, Crosshair, and Master. And now, gonna be down to Paradox. Oh, never mind. It was not Master. It was actually Bones who got taken.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, not like it makes that much of a difference. EXO will put them all to rest. And a flawless round coming in from EXO. Great stuff by them. They're gonna get to play a full-on bonus over here. Could even potentially just go for a half buy in the next one to make sure that they can string together another buy in the round after that if they lose this one. So yeah, like just thinking 3 rounds ahead, I think EXO looking absolutely great. True Rippers not so much. I mean, it's gonna come down to what they try and do over here. And they probably need to be a bit more active considering, or at least not a bit more active, but a bit more proactive in getting some information early on in the round, considering that they have 2 duelists. And that's exactly what they do with those paint shells. Look at Paradox though. Oh, he snuck past, but he's missed. He's whipped. He's lost his chance, and now he needs to go back. Because he could get spammed from that position, and there you go. The bullets start pouring in. Unfortunately, they do not connect, and Paradox stays alive. Tell that tale to kids and his kids if he does end up having kids. But for now, EXO just gonna try and group up outside A main where the Killjoy is set up.
I've got your trail.
Blackhawk to make some sort of pain. Blackhawk has actually found one tap god, and on the back of those Seekers, they are gonna try and enter this A side. Well, they're gonna find some control, but okay, the turret finds Ghost along with the Nanoswarm and the alarm bot. Crosshair finds another. Excali is there to get that trade back in his favor, but it's cost him an arm and a leg. He's down to around 20 points of life, and pretty much a stray shot can kill him at this point. But this flank from sides could be absolutely humongous. They need to buy time though. Do they have enough time? Yes, they do. Side's gonna be good for 1. Throws out the recon, and now Crosshair between a rock and a hard place. Can he actually connect over here? Yes, he can. He spots out Excali. That's the person who was low being taken out here. Spike gonna be baited out, but Blackhawk cleans him up. Sets up for the trade for Bones. But Bones not complete with Sai. Sai just so good on the Vandal. Since the CSGO days. There's a gun that one taps you in the head. Sai is gonna learn about it.
And there it is. Finally, a timeout after 3 whole maps.
Great stuff. I mean, I'm very happy that they took a timeout. You know, this is
This is
really
needed.
what they needed to do.
This was needed in
the
Split.
first map.
This was needed in Split. And now they realize, oh guys, wait, we should have taken the timeout 2 maps ago, and here we are. Well,
What do you
but
mean? We have timeouts?
Oh.
Nah, I mean they probably knew they had timeouts, but just didn't feel very inclined on using them. Says a lot about the team, though. I mean, they seem confident. I mean, you know, when you don't use your timeouts, it's usually because you have a very good idea of what you're doing. But Is that really the case now with the side of True Rippers? Because it certainly doesn't appear to be that way. It seems that they are struggling on Ascent. And this timeout, timed well, it's not gonna start bearing fruit now. It's more for the round after this one.
Well, it might just bear fruit now. You never know. You could prove to be starting off the map of Ascent on a thrifty, and that would make your case stronger. But EXO are looking a little bit too comfortable right now to be rattled up by just pistols in half armor. This Master, spotted out. Excali on top of that wall is gonna now push in. Oh, he's crawled past. He knows that there's one player to his right, and he's coming out of the hiding to find that kill, but not gonna happen. Excali does not connect anything. He'll get healed up.
Oh, Crosshair does not get checked. This is absolutely big. If he could find one kill, he could potentially pick up the gun. No! Cannot. Blackhawk prevents him from doing so. I do not think he found that rifle there.
Oh, look at Wimp though. He's taken over the B side all by himself. One kill onto B main on Bones, and that's about it. That's all they needed. And look at this, one tap god. He is going to find one kill, and EXO are actually struggling this round. The timeout seems to be working. 3 versus 4, 2 weapons to work with, and True Rippers have one mission: defuse that spike and eliminate everybody from EXO. They're gonna be able to do it though.
It'd be hard. That turret is in a pretty good spot though. Kind of turret you need at this point, just to give a bit of information that it can. Oh, great bait and twitch from EXO. Paradox gets shot straight in the head, and Crosshair a little bit busy, but Master pulls it back, picks up the Vandal from Crosshair's body, and even if GR don't win this round, this is just good economic damage. But guess what? They do you one even better. They're gonna get this eco win going for themselves, and with that, the economy as well, right back in their favor. EXO get blindsided by a truck going 90 miles an hour. Didn't really see that coming, and now they pay the price. They screwed up, they messed up. And EXO, well, they're gonna get kicked in their teeth now. As True Rippers get that money back in the bag. Look at Paradox, he just bought up an operator straight up after that last round. He just doesn't want to give them any room to work with.
Well, they do
chilling
have.
for a while and being like, I'm gonna buy a Phantom, you know, like just stretch out this economic advantage a little bit. No, he's going in for the kill.
Well, they do have room to work with. EXO have a full kit of bike, except for a Ghost on that Spectre. Everybody else is going to be able to afford a Vandal or a Phantom. As EXO, yet again with their default, running in left and right towards A and B, leaving mid all alone this time. And Paradox is looking straight dead towards a wall, where all he can see is the color blue. Hoping to splatter it with a little bit of red. Not going to be the case for now. EXO group up towards A yet again. They are running towards where they believe would be their best chance at winning this round. But is that going to be the case? Killjoy Ultimate to support that cause. Cosmic Divide to maybe support that cause. And there it is. Here we go. Straight in. But Paradox has already found side towards high mid. They will run into this site, but they are being met by a lot of utility. True Rippers are waiting to say hello. And they're a man above what EXO have right now. So here we go. Retake. 5 versus 4. What do you got for us, EXO?
True Rippers are really not in a good position for this retake. They've got 3 people towards Gardens, and Wimpy has found that sole player towards Heaven. Bones gets cleaned up, but maybe this is why they were all clumped up here. Paradox is going to find Excali. They're trying to play around the lockdown, and it's going to work out beautifully for them. They defend that lockdown with their lives. They clean up everyone. And EXO, the momentum gets stolen from right back under them, leaving only Blackhawk by himself. Paradox, now that takes gall. Peeking around the corner with an operator like that.
It is over. Revealing area.
Well, EXO, they try to string this round, but are unable to do so. And now they're really going to start feeling the impact of that one round that should have been theirs. The round where they lost to an EXO with just a round where they lost to the side of True Rippers with just a bunch of sheriffs. A well-timed, a well-timed timeout coming in from EXO. I like it. It's possibly the best time to discuss what you want to do and not really be too bothered by what's going to be coming next, because it's going to be an eco round for them, so they can just focus on that a bit more. And yeah, EXO, they need this timeout. I mean, this is potentially the final map that they could play in the upper bracket, so they need to make sure that it's not them who has to experience that, but the side of True Rippers instead.
True. EXO with this timeout look to not lose their lead, but it looks more likely that TR are gonna find their third than EXO finding their fourth. So we're gonna let that go past, because with these pistols, upgraded pistols rather, the max EXO can do is find maybe 2-3 kills. But if they do pull the True Rippers on the True Ripper boys, it wouldn't be saddening to watch at all. Another thrifty round in the works thanks to a timeout. A well-timed timeout. Let's find out.
Let's do it, in fact. Let's see what's gonna happen next. True Rippers, well, oh boy, that is a big recon dart early on. Spots out a lot of the aggression coming in from EXO. So they basically know where they're all out. And Paradox, well, he's gonna find the spike carrier right off the bat. Talk about an impact frag. Excali, though, gets the reverse impact frag. He actually finds Paradox, gets a second one as well, giving his team the opening they need. There's an operator in play, a rifle on top of that too, just to sweeten things up. And they find themselves in a 3v2. Well, make that a 2v2 as Crosshair will equalize. Get Wimp. And Master all by himself trying to hold on to a main. That Nano Swarm is going to be popped now. That turret, gonna make Side take a little bit of that Nano Swarm damage. Okay, Master whips on Side, but it's got another Nano Swarm to halt his advance. And in the meantime, Side just... I mean, at this point, all he really wants is just to get the spike down, but I don't think that's going to happen here. Try and fall back, maybe. Still 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Can do some work
30
from mid,
seconds
but
left.
doesn't know where everyone else is, so it's going to be a long, silent walk towards that B site.
Ty is walking up towards mid. He has got a bit of utility to work with, but no time. Crosshair is going to probably find him. Yes, he is. That's going to be the end of that round. Like I said, the max that the side of EXO could just probably find 3 kills and give economical damage to the defenders. But the round would have been a miracle. Almost came through, though. Not entirely.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think that the side of True Rippers have just been... turning it on, I mean, they've been in a good spot, but now EXO, they get to sort of punch back. They've got the economy in an okay spot. They've got a buy in this round. That's all they really need, but yeah, I mean, if they don't win this one, then once again, we could be looking at a repeat of the first half of Haven. And Paradox, he gets spotted out early on, so that's a lot of crucial information that the side of EXO are able to find. And Sai, well, true information. So this man has found real estate towards mid. And that recon dart as well spots up both one-tap God as well as the Astra, their Bones. Getting found there. That's 3 players being revealed on the side of...
Scally. He's crawled in, and Bones is down to 20 HP. But look at how much courage this man has to take that fight. The turret stops him from peeking. And Excali's gonna be healed up.
Yep.
There is no heal available on the side of TR because there's no Sky or Sage. And now they gotta play with this one injured man. And 3 players who are looking healthy, but are they gonna be able to hold the sights down? Because the A side is looking like a point of contention. Paradox is here to stop it. Paradox getting smoked off. He's gonna wait for that turret to maybe speak. And then he's gonna try and say something, but no! He wants to go straight in! Paradox! Finding 2. Amazing kills there. And here's EXO running straight in. 3 versus 3. Master still here. He's been a huge problem for EXO to deal with. But Blackhawk takes care of him. Sai comes to heaven. And he's gonna find the kills from above. 2 versus 1. Bones, 11 HP. A huge clutch to pull off. If he finds his counterpart in the form of Blackhawk, that's gonna be the best kill. But walking absolutely unaware of the fact that there could be somebody behind him. Small mistake that costs him. But I don't. Why did Bones not turn to even check that angle?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I believe he was anticipating both of them to play Heaven. Given the plant, he thought that, you know, since it's planted deep generator, it's more likely that they're instead both playing towards Heaven and you know, just looking to trade him out, make life difficult for him. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Bones, it's tough to ask anything from him in that situation. 11 HP in a 1v2, it's just hard to do. Paradox, he's been putting in a lot of work for the side of True Rippers, but not really too much avail so far. Can you do it again, though? I mean, once again, this is EXO just getting a lot of A main control early on. All 5 players post up outside here. Looks like it's going to be a strong A hit, but guess what? Someone from the side of True Rippers knows about this, and that man is Bones, the Astra. Not going to give them this ground up for free, and even though Excali is on the side, the rest of his team is struggling to get in there, and Ghost is going to get picked off over here. Master lining them all up is going to be able to find themselves, and oh boy, True Rippers, they live with all 5 players alive, and EXO, well, their economy right back in the dumps again.
What a round from the side of True Rippers. That hold from Bones and Master was just beautiful to watch. Bones was trying to divert their attention while Master came into the light, found his kills, and Paradox was there right behind him to support. And now they have 4 ultimates as well to play with. And Master is gonna get, as soon as he's gonna get his ultimate, if he finds 1 ultimate award or a kill. And it looks like he is going for that kill. He will find it towards the A main. Ghost goes down as Paradox takes out Excali. And Wimp here, well, he's caught, outnumbered, and outgunned.
One enemy remaining.
True Rippers are looking strong. This is an eco, but True Rippers are looking a lot more aware on Ascent right now than they did in the first couple of rounds. They're here to fight and they take the lead. 5 ultimates ready for them. Any one of them are a round winner type of ultimate.
Oh yeah, I mean, True Rippers just really taking the fight to EXO now, and they finally found that lead again. You know, I mean, you know, as we were talking about this, we were saying it might be a repeat of Haven. It's unlikely this time around because it's a lot closer in terms of rounds. So I mean, EXO could still make it competitive, but economically speaking, True Rippers are doing quite fine. So they don't really have much to worry about, like you mentioned. EXO, it just seems that they've had a couple of similar approaches so far, but now they've changed things up. I like the split coming in from them. They get some early information towards B, that's big, and now, with that ult top secured for Blackhawk, they could potentially just use that ult to try and enter B. I mean, they could force it pretty much. And Blackhawk, well, there's the cherry on top that he was looking for. He finds Paradox there. And if he didn't have his ult before, he sure does now. Wimp is even gonna find one tap god, and now, all of a sudden, True Rippers, they find themselves in a 3v5. Do they go into the save or do they try and fight? Given their economy, they're probably gonna try and fight this one out, but Sai, okay, letting go of the Hunter's Fury there. Doesn't really end up connecting on anyone, but Crosshair. Oh no, he might just end up finding a couple over here. Tries to get back from the smoke, will be successful, but no, he's trying to go back and get another pick. He will succeed. Oh! Crosshair, out of his mind. How does he find those two? Holy
I've got
cow!
your trail.
True Rippers, they're right back in this. The Seekers are gonna be forced. Guess what? Bones, he's already on site, and this push might come to a scratching end over here.
One
There's a
enemy
lockdown
remaining.
ready for the
Last
retake. It's
player
not even going to be
standing.
needed at this rate. Master finds Ghost. Blackhawk fades him out. Makes it a 1v1. And he's going to get the plant down with 14 seconds remaining on the clock. But Master's got the lockdown.
10
He's
seconds
going to
left.
pop it.
Spike
Well,
planted.
He might pop it, I'm not quite sure. Oh, no, he definitely will. And his turret is holding down the ground for him, but Blackhawk! What a round this has been individually. Crosshair with that double kill. I mean, he just clean pops out of the smoke, finds one, goes straight back, the recon to help him out. And then the audacity this man has to find that flick kill. 3 for him on main, and then there's Ghost who comes, forgive me, Blackhawk, who comes up clutch finds a 4K for that round. And number 5 comes up for EXO as well. We're going toe-to-toe here. This is the closest it has been, by the way, Floki, across all 3 maps.
Right here.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't seem like True Rippers the same team that they were in the previous map, or even the map before that. I mean, they're looking a lot more put together in comparison now, and it's working so far for them. Sure, they didn't get the last round, but once again, the economy is not that great on EXO, so it's not going to take much to break the camel's back. Just another straw.
Take flight.
And True Rippers, they've been fairly passive this round. You know, they've not been that active. They don't have Paradox on
You
that.
should run.
Okay, they do have Paradox on the operator, but they've chosen to be a
area.
bit more defensive. And with silence for the episode, you know, that lockdown coming in, now they know for sure where the hit is coming from. It's Scally though, he's still able to find Crosshair just with his Hunter's Fury out.
Okay.
And no, Bones, that is a highway robbery. Gets shot in the smoke. And sure, one tap God finds one, but that's all he's good for.
player
Really need to just
standing.
stay alive. The Wimp even finds Master, and now Paradox to go for
Spike
the save.
planted.
Or
Well, you
does he?
should go for the save, but this man is a little too much of a wacky player,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants those exit frags. That's why he's just lingering around. Look at him. He's roaming around like a mindless beast, but he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
I mean,
Paradox is... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Paradox, you were saying, go on. I want to hear what you were saying. Paradox is.
No, I mean, it's. I just thought that he was... I thought maybe he's going to try and look for some sort of rifle and try and go back in instead, but no, he values the operator, and even
no.
Paradox is not insane enough to let go of
No,
it. This is
Paradox.
the second shot, and with 16 points of life, he just needs to hold down W, and he's gonna live. That's all that matters.
Last round in the half.
Oh, he survives by just a couple of inches across that wall. And that's going to give number 6 for EXO. They take the lead here, Floki. And that is a little bit of a concern because True Rippers looked like they were in the lead. And then they immediately gave it away.
Yep. I mean, economy has been a problem for EXO the entire time, but just the consecutive round wins that they've strung through, it's
Get out of my way!
been really a blessing for them, a blessing in disguise of sorts, and we'll see if they can continue to make the most of that blessing and try and take up some more rounds over here. Make it 7-5. This time around, it's gonna be the side of EXO vying for some mid control. They get it early on, and now they've got a fair amount of options. You know, there's not really anyone who's really shot. Sure, there's an alarm or a nanostorm there, but that can be dealt with. Well, it can be dealt with if you've got shock darts, but Sai is instead using them to just try and duel Paradox. Paradox, okay, he did connect the shot, but can't get the follow-up. Sai cleans him up, and Excali has found one tap god elsewhere towards B's. So there you go, a lot of options still available for the side of EXO, but which one are they going to take? Like a kid in a candy store, they can't decide.
Recon's being thrown in from both sides here. One of them is waiting as he hears sounds coming through. Master's Recon is not going to give any sort of value, but Master will find it either way. Ghost takes it off. This Cosmic Divide allows them to crawl into the A site, but only barely.
30
Wim
seconds
finds a
left.
great shot onto
player
Crosshair, and
standing.
Wim gets another follow-up. But what the side of EXO don't know is that Bones is coming here, and he's coming. He's been found out. He crawls past them, and he's looking in the right direction. No, he's not. One versus 3. He could have probably sprayed down 2 if he was looking
Switching
towards
sides.
Generator. He was lucky to find 1.
I think if he actually got towards A main, you know, maybe play a little further back, he could have clutched this one out. But yeah, just the Cosmic Divide timing, just a little bit unfavorable for him. So not much that he could have done in that situation. Really unfair to expect that much out of him. Could have done a lot, yep, but come on, it's a 1v3 at the end of the day.
True.
And with that side switch, it's now going to be the side of True Rippers on the attack. No flashes to work with, just a couple of rays, boom bots, and paint shells, and that's all you've got. Maybe a nanoswarm here and there and a shock dart to clear out some angles, but that's all you get. Let's see if it's enough. Scally, okay, taking a fair bit of damage right off the bat, 54 points of life. And get bested by Classic with just a couple of body shots if he's not careful. But just
Well, he
pushing.
can find... He can find Crosshair, who's standing right there. The dink is brilliant, and there's a kill, and the spike as well. Whip has found him, and Ixiali's right here to support Bones. High mid, down to 12 HP, and he's still hitting shots. Master with another. He's been on a roll, Master, but EXO are performing as a team.
What is True Rippers doing? The spike is towards mid. Bones is all by himself, down to a few points of life. One tap god decides to push when it's evident that there's someone on the backstab, and now he's gone.
Yeah,
What?
What the hell? I have no clue.
Oh, that
why
is
they.
Okay, correct me. Am I missing something over here? Because I don't think it was the right move from the side of True Rippers. Shouldn't they have gone back and fought the spike instead? Am I stupid here?
I'm just gonna say one thing. I think that all of that could have been avoided if somebody in B main would have just had the spike with them.
Yeah. Or they could have just dropped the spike.
Drop the spike. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but oh man, you can't be afford to be making these mistakes at this stage. I mean, you're against the likes of EXO. You really think you're gonna go unpunished? Think again and then think twice just for good measure. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna go that way.
And now they're gonna bear the repercussions of that mistake. A free round almost given to the side of EXO, and look at this. One tap god. He's not been having the best of games.
Yep.
4 kills he's been on, and now his teammates have to make do with their A short push. And EXO are ready. They've got 3 players here, but Crosshair still finds Sai. They've no clue that Excali is here, and that's gonna be the determining factor for them to win this round. Excali not expecting somebody to be a rain generator, and this gives Paradox a fighting chance. He's got a Spectre to work with. Dink down, probably gonna get sprayed down, but he's waiting. Master, no, you gotta hit that, my friend, and that gives Wimp just about enough to get past this.
My
2
God,
weapons dropped, but still, True Rippers. They are having holes that they're not able to fill.
Yeah, the ship is sinking, and you know, this is why you need those safety inspections early on. Just check your strats, just make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. But True Rippers, they've been slipping, man, and EXO have been punishing them. This is not the kind of True Rippers I was expecting to see in the playoffs. Just tiny, unforced errors that they should be wary of, but still somehow just getting caught out every time. And
you know, they were actually
Turrets destroyed.
they were actually so good last time they played against Explonis, and that's where they won. That's how they came here. And yet again, for them to be on the Ascent this time, it's not looking that great. And look at this. At that range, Paradox, he should be winning every one of those deals, but suddenly Ascent is just slipping out. It's causing to be too much of an Ascent for them to climb against EXO. One tap god gonna be spotted out here. His boombot is not gonna do any sort of damage to anyone, but he will take outside an immediate trade back from Excali. They're taking control even with these Spectres. EXO are proving to be so dangerous, so notorious. Master will trade, and he's been the only one that actually is making such a difference for his team, apart from Crosshair in this map for the side of TR. And here's just the last one left with versus 2, and there's Crosshair clutching up yet again. It is these 2 members who have been performing. Paradox has not been having the best game. Bones is not able to give in as much as he can. One Tap God as a duelist is not able to perform. But True Rippers are still 3 rounds down. And they have a lot more to do here. EXO on this eco is going to give them a round. But after that, EXO are going to come back straight with blazing guns, given that it was a bonus for them of sorts.
yeah, really, and I mean, there you go. There's the sort of a half fight we're looking for. A couple of shadows, a shorty in the mix. Spectre for Ghost. Let's see if that Spectre can sing. Now, it's the bird which does. Doesn't really tell you how many people are there, but it does tell you someone's there. And Blackhawk uses to hidey holes in his eyes. And then he brought out the rest of Team True Ripper. Okay,
Oh,
well,
Blackhawk.
Blackhawk, okay,
Down,
I
B.
get it. This is your part of the map. They are not allowed here. But can they still break through? They've got the weaponry to do it. They need a gravity well or something of that sort, but it's on cooldown for the time being. Concuss still available, and now Bones is going to pop it, go into the astral form, but it's already too late.
He's gonna be healed up as well. Look at this. They're not even being allowed into the B side, even though they've got so much weaponry and utility. This is so much pressure from EXO with just mere pistols that True Rippers are not able to handle. And look at this, they're even afraid to go towards mid. And here's a lockdown. So that's gonna give up the A side. They know there's definitely not gonna be an A hit. They're not even towards mid with this, thanks to this ultimate. They have to go into B.
Left.
And they've got 2 players to face off here. They are on site, and Blackhawk is just hitting shots after shots. He is probably gonna get sprayed down here. 66 HP, he's down
One
2.
enemy
Paradox
remaining.
dashes in. Ghost finds the last 2. What the hell have you done, EXO?
I mean, come on, dude. This was not supposed to be around the round
No way.
after the show. Not this one.
This is insanity. This is not supposed to happen. This is something that the side of EXO should have lost a long time ago. But the fact that with just on it, you could see it. True Ripper players, they had fear in their eyes. They did not even enter the B side. They know they're up against pistols. Be a little more confident. Come on. This is not how you were against Exploit yesterday. Come on, guys. Finally, Bones is going to be finding the first kill.
Blinded.
This is what they need. Excali being drop dead, but immediately Wimp trades back towards A. He's on this corner. He's in this corner, but that doesn't mean he's going to go down just yet. Look at him. He doesn't care. And this is now size ground mid. He's going to look to try and find it. Escapes away from the gaze of Paradox and his blades. But for how long can True Rippers keep this up?
Yep, I mean, Paradox can chime in, get a couple of kills. Maybe with this operator he can do some work. No, misses a shot on Ghost, and Ghost fades away back to safety. Still a 3v4 for the side of True Rippers, and they just don't have the weapons to pull this off. I mean, they've got good positions, but it doesn't
Spike
matter. The
down
spike has
A.
been spotted, and that's it. That's what they needed. The smoking gun for EXO has been found.
30 seconds left.
Left towards A. Okay. Sai was a bit too eager, and Paradox says, sit down, son, but we'll see if he can continue doing that.
One
Wimp
enemy
gonna get
remaining.
double TKO here. Ghost cleans him up, and there you go. Wimp, not even sweat on his brow. The operator recovered. And there you go. That's Team EXO putting the 11th one on board for themselves. True Rippers were really struggling to get back up on their feet. I mean, it's been True Rippers to win these eco rounds, but it seems that now it's EXO's turn to do so. And with that thrifty win, they're in such a comfortable spot for the rest of this game.
Most certainly. And if this round is gone, it's over for True Rippers.
Yeah, it's done and dusted. They're not going to have money to work with. And then once again, they're hoping for a good old Christmas miracle. Well, Excalibur is cheeky. Gets himself towards Winery, gets Bones. Can he dash away
I
back
have the
towards
spike.
safety though? Well, looks like he can because no one's really trying to peek him. He's gonna make it out A-okay towards the main. Paradox sticks his head out of the smoke, gets it blown clean off by Blackhawk, says, not my smoke party, not today. One tap gone, he's found some market control, but that's so much information being given over to the side effects now that now they can just come back in for the rotate and just easily cut them off here. One tap gone, he's trying to be a nuisance with that ult, will get one, tried to go for the second, doesn't get it, but gives them some sort of
One
get the
enemy
spike down.
remaining.
Well,
Spike
I-
down B.
guess what's crunch? The spike has been dropped towards me, made it faster. He was getting peppered through the wall, but will get side. I was gonna say this is a little bit more doable, but Excali just says, nah, here's my boomstick.
Match point.
It's over. This is done and dusted. You are going to have a buy, but it's going to be desperate. It's going to be half armor. It's whatever you can muster up in this, True Rippers. You're halfway across the world from where EXO are, and they are literally sitting. It's almost like you're playing musical chairs, and EXO are almost about to sit, and you're
Without a
right
start, I
behind the
cannot.
chair, nowhere near what they are. And the
Oh, yeah.
only way to win this if you steal the chair away, and that's gonna take a lot of force. A comeback from this point is gonna mean the biggest upsets that we would have seen. The final map, Ascent, comes back to haunt them this time rather than give them a way to make things work.
Oh man, Paradox is so low.
Blackhawk
should
is
run.
he's just playing around in the garden right
I
now.
need a stop.
He doesn't care. And with that ultimate, even though Blackhawk will get pushed back, he still has the Odin in his hands. And they're gonna have an opening over here. It doesn't even matter that Paradox is snuck into the site. Excali is taking
Spike
out the
down
spike
A.
towards A main, and this round is
I
done
have
and
the
dusted.
spike.
This game is
Last
done and
player
dusted.
standing.
Side takes out the penultimate kill. It's all on to Master to try and make the world revolve around him, but it's the
Defenders
Wimp.
win.
Obviously, it had to be Wimp, the highest skill getter in this map, to shut it all out and take his team to the upper bracket semifinals.
My goodness, EXO. What a great game coming out for them. The tempo wasn't in their favor for the majority of the first half. True Rippers, after winning an eco that they weren't supposed to, were in such a good spot economically, but they fought back, man. They pushed back, and despite being at an economic disadvantage, they made it a good round. They made it competitive for the first half. And then the second half comes around, and they win the pistol, and they win the subsequent round. Or they lose the subsequent round, but they win the one after that. And that is on the back of a couple of sheriffs and shorties. And by that point, it was all but over for the side of True Rippers. So let's have a look and see how EXO managed to do this. Because True Rippers, they had a few good moments, you know. I mean, it's not like they were completely rolled over, but it just didn't seem they had enough fuel in the tank to cross that finishing line. That's all.
Yeah, the first half though looked so competitive. Both these teams were going back and forth. We were up 5-5. Then EXO took it 7-5. And then after that, there was only just the one round that True Rippers found out in the second half. After that, they kept digging, but to no avail. All they found was mud, no gold, no treasure, nothing. Everything was already stolen away by EXO, and they're gonna use that, wear their crown jewels, and sit pretty and wait for the winner of either Velocity or Enigma in the upper bracket semifinals. They've earned this, to be honest. The way that they played in this last map, they've earned this, because even the previous map, they gave such a momentous comeback. They brought it down to, they took the lead. They did let it go over time, and they did lose it out given, but that was still them doing as much as they could. In the end, there was a considerable amount of throwing from both teams, but True Ripper stabilized. In this map, though, EXO, they will find themselves on the upper hand. It was rounds like these that I started believing in True Rippers to win this one at Floki. They were so good. They looked so good. Moments like these where Crosshair pops out of the smoke, finds one. Recon, not afraid to take the fight yet again. 42 HP, and this man just finds two like it's nothing.
And he tags up the third one a little bit, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, just... True Rippers, even I was a believer. I was a believer until the very end, but yeah, EXO, when that second half rolled around, they just stopped playing. And really, I mean, it's when it hit 7-5, it seemed like EXO, they just had so much room in the world to work with. They won that pistol round. The subsequent round, it was also okay. It went in their favor. And yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like the side of True Rippers really had any answers. Just hard to watch, to be honest. I mean, yeah, True Rippers, they win that first buy round that they put together, sure. But then EXO, they do a bit of an eco, and then they win that round. And they're like, okay, economy is back in our favor, guys. It's time to party.
All this might be true, right? But True Rippers are still not out of this. They have a chance of making a comeback happen. They could possibly meet EXO again if EXO do lose to whoever is going to be facing up against them. Because looking at it historically, EXO have not really had the best track record against Velocity or Enigma, right? So if they do lose and True Rippers do win out their lower bracket match, then there is a chance for them to yet again have a revenge story in place. But all of that is for speculation, because right now, EXO are going to be rejoicing, and they should be rejoicing their positioning in this playoffs. And True Rippers, well, in the playoffs, this was the first time that they have gone ahead to the upper brackets without, from the first round to the second. But
Yep.
they're going to get sent right straight back down to where they were in the previous season, in the first round itself, where they were knocked out, by the way, initially. So this is an improvement, and
Yep.
they could go further on. I just, I want to look at the playoffs bracket soon enough to see how exactly things are shaping up for both of these teams.
Oh yeah, let's have a look at the brackets right after this screen. But yeah, this is the post-match screen, and there you go, Wimp being the MVP for the side of TEAMXO with a very good ACS of 313. 22 kills for the man on the Killjoy, by the way. So yeah, great stuff.
Both the
coming out from him.
Killjoys, look at both the Killjoys. Both have got the most number of kills.
Oh yeah, and then it's Blackhawk for the side of EXO, who's just I have to say, Blackhawk has been looking really, really good of late. It's just his fragging and everything has been on point on top of his utility usage. This man has come in clutch so many times, right? That one round with the Sheriff where he just shuts them all down. What an absolute beauty of a round coming in from him. And True Rippers, yeah, this is not the way they imagine going down to the lower bracket, but it is the one that they have to live with. For now, they need to focus on the matches that are going to be coming up next instead of
Indeed.
ruminating on this loss and just going into a downward spiral. But let's have a look at the map V2 again to put some more context into this. And yeah, that first and third map, they're not looking very different for the side of True Rippers, are they? 13-4 and 13-6.
True. The only place that they did make a difference, and that too was, after so much hard work, it was like they had to squeeze the juice out of the sugar cane in the second map as well. 14-12 was such a difficult scoreline because you would expect them to win out their home map a little bit more easier, but this is EXO we're talking about. They are a team that's been on the top of their form right now, and to beat them is definitely not that easy. They did, though. 2-1. Respectively, they will take one map away, but this is no group stages. You either win or you lose. And if you win, you move ahead. You lose, you go straight down to lower brackets. Now they have to fight for their lives every round as if it depends on their life. That's how they have to fight in the lower brackets, which, by the way, could be another one of a revenge story with Floki, because once we go into the playoffs bracket, here they are. They're going to be facing off VALOR. FSESPORTS have been, kicked out of the tournament, but there is something that I do want you to look at, right? Now, either one of Velocity or Enigma are going to drop down to face off Exploit, right?
Yep.
Now, whoever if True Rippers do beat VALOR, now that is going to be another game in our hands. True Rippers and VALOR, it's like the fight of the tier 1.5 tier teams.
Yeah.
Yes, right? So that fight is going to be interesting. And Exploit versus whoever is going to be Enigma or Velocity is going to be interesting. And then the following of that, whether True Rippers move forward, they're going to have a revenge story either way. Exploit were the ones who were beaten by True Rippers. And if Exploit make it through and True Rippers make it through, then that's going to, wind up another huge, backstory from the upper brackets where Exploit were beaten on Ascent. And they're going to hope to get that revenge and serve it straight back in the plate where it's as sweet as possible and as cold.
Oh yeah, most certainly. Sounds a lot like ice cream, but yeah, I have to say that it's going to be a very interesting storyline coming up soon enough. So you want to be keeping an eye out for that. But guess what? We are not done for today just yet. Let's actually have a look at the rest of today's matchups. I believe it's going to be Velocity going up against the side of Enigma Gaming later on at 8 o'clock. So you don't want to be missing out on that. And yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one as well, because like you mentioned, the loser goes to the lower bracket. They potentially face up the side of True Rippers or VALOR, whichever one of them wins. Or if they don't win, then, it's going to be Exploit going up. But yeah, a very interesting match coming up at 8 p.m. A match that you don't want to miss. So make sure you click the bell notification icon. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out the links down in the description below and get all the best deals from our sponsors. But for now, that's going to be it from our side. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until then, you're watching LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner Aimlab. We'll see you guys at 8 p.m.